All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I am your host, Axel1324.
And I'm Cool Cat Terry.
That's right. And guys, what a week for gaming. What a fantastic week. Lots of announcements. Kind of the last big announcements of the year. So we'll see what the topics are after this. But we'll figure it out, Terry. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Let's check in with the chat real quick. We got my buddy Doggy Dog 426. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Doggy Dog. And hey, man, I know that we're all suffering from that heartbreaking, devastating loss you guys had this Thursday. But you know what? You just gotta take it. You just gotta keep it going. You know, you just gotta keep it going, buddy. Get your orange T-shirt now, Doggy. You're gonna lose that bet. Here we go. And your Wicked Hot joins us. Shout out to your Wicked Hot. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And we'll let the chat start filtering in. So, while the chat filters in, Terry, what have you been playing?
So I finished Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Okay.
So I got that done. It's a very good game. I do recommend it. The ending, though, made zero sense. I don't know what happened in the ending, but it's still a good game. And then other than that, I've still been playing a lot of War Tales because that game is like the best game I played this year. But yeah, it's really, really good. And the amount of time I put into that indie, it blows my mind that they didn't get a single nomination, because compared to a lot of those other indies that got nominated, like, they're all crap compared to War Tales. War Tales got shafted. That game is brilliant. But that's basically it. It's just been War Tales, and then finishing up Mirage. But it's been a good time, and I'm looking forward. After the show, I'm gonna start finally playing the new Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. I'm excited to finally try it out. There has been no hoopla at all about this game. Like, it's just been under the radar. Like, what's going on? Like, Avatar is literally one of the highest grossing movie franchises in existence, and they have a awesome looking video game, and no one's talking about it. How does that
happen? Get that advertising budget up. Oh, Ubisoft, come on, Ubi. And of course, I told you I want to play ridiculous. That game too. It looks good. It's receiving fair open critic reviews. You know, about in the mid 70s, high 80s.
Yeah, it's getting the same generic stuff that all Ubisoft games get, where people be like, "Oh my god, it plays like an Ubisoft game." It's freaking Ubisoft. It's like, what do you want?
You know what? If it plays like a Ubisoft game, you better get ready for that content, because there's a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
You know,
you want Ubisoft not to have their own distinct flavor? I mean,
that's what we call the Ubisoft tax.
You know, it is, because people, they want, like, classic BioWare has their own feel. All their games felt the same. It's like, but that's okay. But you can't have whatever. Freaking biasness.
Starfield has that Bethesda feel.
It does. And it's that anti-Ubisoft, jargon that comes to all of the so-called journalists out there that have no taste in gaming. So whatever. I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna enjoy it with my buddy. We're gonna have a good time. So
I want to play it too. Yeah, that I saw it. I almost bought it yesterday because it's part of it's eligible for a $30 off coupon, and I'm like, it's a brand new game, came out 2 days ago. I can get it for $40.
Dude, do it.
and then my spouse is like, no, because I already know it. In 6 months, this game is gonna be $40 by itself. I go, but I can get it now. No, but she's right. I do have a backlog of Christmas games to get through.
It's true. And Ubisoft does have a good record of always putting their stuff on sale. So
yeah, which is great, by the way.
They're not stingy like other developers that keep their game at full price for decades.
Looking at you, Nintendo. Yeah. Shout out to Dan the Man Cunningham for joining us. He says, good morning, all. How's everybody doing today? Axel, you're not wearing your hat and it's throwing me off. LOL. So I'm running the virtual background and I put my hat on.
Where's your other hat?
And it just disappears.
You had like an all black one though, didn't you?
Yeah, but it just it just looks weird with the flickering on my head. So yeah, but it's right there. I'm right there. Did you know? Axel, is it bald? I sure am not.
You know, he got that haircut in the army, and he just loved it so much that he kept it. You know what I mean?
It's my look. I mean, let's be honest here. It's my look. No hat has ruined the illusion. Wait, so you thought I was bald, Vegeta? No hat has ruined the illusion of me being bald. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. There was even a while when I just had so much hair. But yeah. And shout out to Web Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning, Terry and Axel. Good morning, Web Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. So I have been playing. I fired up Vampire Survivors because I never finished doing all the combos to all the weapons or the unions and stuff. So I fired up Vampire Survivors, and that's what I've been playing a lot of. Is some Vampire Survivors this week. I don't think I've played anything else. Like this week is so busy for me at work that a game like Vampire Survivors, where it's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes to a level, it's like the perfect dose, and then back to work. And yeah, I mean work here at my house. So yeah, it's kind of the perfect game, the perfect break game between seriousness. So yeah, I've been playing that. But after this, I'm hitting that backlog, and I'm hitting it hard. And Baldur's Gate 3, it might be part of that because it's got that Game of the Year award. I kind of make it a point to play every game of the year to see if it's really the game of the year. So yeah, but we'll talk about that. But speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, let's move right to it. It's releasing on our favorite platform, Xbox. They released this trailer here on the official Xbox channel. So shout out to them. So if you haven't heard about the phenomenon that is Baldur's Gate 3, the one that put the fear of indies into AAA developers, the game that took the world by storm, the game that just everybody says has the best storytelling, some of the best combat, that lets you have love relationships with basically anybody, where every line is voiced. It's sitting in a high 90s open critic. And yeah, it finally got released on Xbox Series S and X with a nice deluxe edition release in 3, count them, Terry, 3 CDs. Terry, have you played Baldur's Gate on a PC or PlayStation yet?
I have not played it yet. I've been waiting for it to come to Xbox because I know that I'm gonna want to dive in with my friends. So So I've been waiting for Xbox, but that's all. But like I'm excited because I do really enjoy what Larian has done in the past. Like the Divinity series was a blast to play with my friend. So we were like, as soon as Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, man, that's the game. Waiting for it. I had to wait for it to come to Xbox because my buddy only does Xbox. So I've been waiting. So I'm excited to finally dive into it because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
So this is on your playlist.
This is on one of my highly anticipated lists. It's just so I'm looking forward to it, but it'll still be backlogged though because I just got Avatar. So I got Avatar. I'm still trying to get War Tales done. So it's like so it's so much stuff to play, and I try to complete games before I start new ones to the best of my ability. I fall short from time to time, but I do try to finish what I start before I start other stuff. So it's up there. So I got to get it because I got to get all these games caught up before February because then nothing else exists. I got to get them done. So I'm looking forward to playing it though. It's gonna be fun.
Well, yeah, I can't wait. Let's check out this deluxe edition real quick. It comes with 3 discs on Xbox, playable on disc, so the whole game's there. That's nice. Let's see. Digital content included Divinity Item Pack. All this is digital, right? DLC. Bard Song Pack. Exclusive dice skin. Paintings from Revelon. Discover a new collection of paintings across the Forgotten Realms inspired by Divinity Original Sin 2. An adventure pouch. A digital OST. Now this is digital bonus contest. Digital art book and digital character sheets. Physical goodies include the original soundtrack, 3 CDs for those of you but still rocking your CDs. 3 CDs. Let's see, a map, a double-sided map for your adventures. How else would you know where you are? Stickers, 32 stickers featuring our Origins characters, iconic Dungeons and Dragon monsters, and much more. Patches, the Flaming Fist mark. Hold on, let me see. The Flaming Fist or mark or the absolute with both patches in the box show your allegiance. I don't even know, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go Flaming Fist. I think that one looks cooler. Let's see. The Mind Flare poster. Yes, the Mind Flare. Love the Mind Flare. Let your friends know the invasion is on with this big, beautiful, terrifying poster. I love how the adjectives big, beautiful, terrifying. PC game disc, PS5 game disc. All right, here we go. Xbox game disc playable on disc, only available with the Xbox version. A game box. Keep Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 company with this collectible box created in style of the original series. Do I still have my Baldur's Gate boxes? I don't know. And then it starts over again, original soundtrack. So, hey, not bad for physical. Lots of physical, lots of digital. I don't know how much the digital deluxe or the deluxe edition is. Let's see, pre-order now. Here we go. $80. $80, everybody. So yeah, if you're a collector, I personally have stopped collecting things like this unless they came with statues. As I feel that those are easier to display and more prominent. But I lie because I bought a watch. So
You did.
So Baldur's Gate 3 though, yeah, I am definitely gonna play it. But I'm thinking I'm gonna stick to the PC now when I get the time. But then I thought, what about my achievements? And then I'm like, I'm not an achievement guy. I'm okay with only getting 40 achievements and finishing the game. And I'm like, okay, cool. 40 of 1,000, right? Of course, you're going to get more than 40 if you just finish a game. But I'm just saying, I'm okay with it. And I feel that this game like when Divinity Original Sin came out, it played really well on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But I feel that this game, the longevity for me, some of it is going to play on mods. And like if it does things that I find annoying, I feel that the PC will give me more freedom to make it unannoying. So yeah, I'm thinking I might stick to the PC, but yeah, this is definitely on the list. As I say, I play every game of the year, or at least I try to, and I make my own decision if the game deserves game of the year. Like Overwatch didn't deserve anything. I think it's the most boring shooter I've ever played. Yeah, that's right. I said it. So yeah, there you go. Baldur's Gate finally coming to the Xbox. Woo! Anybody in the chat gonna get Baldur's Gate 3? Doggy, you getting Baldur's Gate 3? What about you? Let me see here. You're wicked hot. Dan the Man Cunningham, the Gina. Shout out to the Gina for thinking I'm bald, I guess. And you, Web Dave. Let's see. And Web Dave says, everybody, please hit that like button. Yes, please do. It helps us get discovered, especially in the live section on YouTube, where we would like to be taken more seriously, I guess. Let's see. The game that shows no animal loving shame. That's right. Dan the Man Cunningham says, the Baldur's Gate I played was Dark Alliance, and I loved it. Hey, I love Dark Alliance 1 and 2. I have those on my Xbox. I remember just spending hours playing Dark Alliance 1 and 2. So much fun. So much fun. No Baldur's Gate for me. All right. Doggy doesn't want to play the best game of the year, apparently. Apparently. Let's see. General Spartan says, I just don't have the time to do turn-based. I think that's kind of the beauty of turn-based, is that you can take as much time as you want. You know,
you can think it out instead of being like, crap, I have to run in there and I gotta get it done. And then you die over and over and over again because you rushed in there. But it's still good time. It's still good times.
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody has their style. You know me, I love my tactics games. I do like the turn-based. I will be save scumming. I have no shame in my game. You know, they're like, oh, the way to play this is without saving. Screw you, save scumming. I don't want to restart.
Yeah,
I hate it when I have to do that, like on XCOM, Enemy Unknown 2.
When I play any kind of RPG, I save a ton. Every time I talk to somebody, I save before I talk to them. I save after I talk to them. I save before I get in a fight. I save after I get in a fight. Like, I'm constantly saving all the freaking time because I never know when I'm going to have to go back. So I save so much when I played RPGs. I think I went back. I think I had saved over 1,000 times just for like Mass Effect. So
wow.
That's like, I save a lot. So it saves you a lot of time because if you end up screwing something up, you don't have to go back as far. You know, so
yeah. Wow. I don't save that much. I save after I talk to somebody. But yeah, sometimes like I get so stressed out in games that like where dialogue affects the game because I'm like, which tree am I following? Because I can't see it. But yeah, they're right. You know, the way Dungeons and Dragons was intended to be played was no kind of like live or die by your consequences.
All decisions final.
Yeah, no refunds. No wishing for more wishes. You know, and if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you don't always win. You have to withdraw. You know, fleeing is a thing, and starting and redoing and then you get to write a new campaign based on how you failed. So yeah, Dungeons and Dragons to me is amazing. Did they ever raise the level cap past 14? I think 16, I think, is the new level cap right now. Official cap. I don't remember. All right. Anyways, if any of you are Dungeons and Dragons tabletop guys, let us know. Yeah, your Wicked Hot is on the fence for Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, some people can be. All right, let's see. Then we have the GNAT. It's going to tackle Baldur's Gate 3 during the drought early next year. Still have so many games to get through from this year. Exactly. Yeah. No lies detected, my guy. No lies detected. And shout out to General Spartan. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. I think I already said that, but just in case I didn't, there you go. All right, so that was the first topic, Baldur's Gate 3. We are going to just use that as, hey, guess what came out? All right, let me see what I can do here. All right, everybody. In case you didn't know, this little trailer got leaked 12 hours early, which to me is stupid. Rumor has it that a developer's kid leaked it. That developer might find himself without a job at this point. I know I would be upset if I was a multi-billion-dollar company and somebody leaked my product early because of their kids. So we shall see. But this little game known as Grand Theft Auto 6 got announced. Now, they are announcing this 2 years early, and it's typical Rockstar style. No more than 2 years early. But man, talk about a good looking trailer. If this is the graphical update between 2013's 5 and 2025's Grand Theft Auto 6, what an update. And a lot of people are saying that they captured Florida really well. And they can't wait to get into this game. Now, of course, this game just kind of didn't show anything. It just showed the graphics and kind of the style that we can expect from GTA 6, which is taking place in, I believe, San Andreas again, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there you go. GTA 6. Are you excited, Terry?
No.
No.
But
What?
no. I
It's
fell
Grand Theft
off the
Auto.
G I fell off the GTA wagon probably I think when 4 came out, I really didn't like 4. I hated 4. And then 5 came out and I couldn't get into 5 either. I just didn't like the characters at all. It just wasn't for me. So yeah, I just don't have any interest in GTA anymore. So it is what it is. I know there's a huge calling for it. People have been waiting for this game for several years to come out because they dragged out 5 for so dang long.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope it's very well done so that way fans can have lots of fun with it, enjoy it, and hopefully whenever they launch the online, that'll be good because I know like it's one of those things, man. Like when Rockstar, they did a really good job with online for 5, but then
Mhm.
they did a horrible job with the online for Red Dead. So it's like, which one are you gonna get? You're gonna get an excellent experience that you're used to for GTA, or you're gonna get the Red Dead edition. Uh, you know what I mean? So only time will tell. but uh, but yeah, no, I wish the game well. I wish, I'm hoping the fans have a good time. But for me, I couldn't care less about this game. I couldn't care less about the franchise. It's dead to me. It's been dead to me for a long
It's dead to Terry. Oh my god.
time.
All right, now, in case you didn't know, this is modeled after Miami, that Miami lifestyle. And shout out to GameSpot for doing this research. They got the clips that motivated some of the GTA 6 clips. So there's all the real life references that are happening so that they could capture
That one I think actually happened in LA.
that vibe, I guess. Florida, USA. Look at this guy. There you go. And of course, you have this one, the famous one. So, yeah, the Gators. Of course, you can't have Florida without Gators. So I think that's kind of cool. And I don't know why it's buffering so much. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. Anyways, so it is being modeled after some real life references, if you will, which I think is awesome. Now, I might jump into GTA 6. I know my brother-in-law, he's a huge GTA guy. So I know he's going to definitely jump on the GTA bandwagon. Chat, let us know if you're excited for GTA 6. As a matter of fact, let's find out. Let's poll the chat, shall we? Let's see. Are you excited for GTA 6? Yes? No? And I don't know. What should our maybe be?
I don't think we need a maybe. It's either you are or you're not. You know what I
You heard
mean?
it here first.
When it
Terry
comes to
said,
GTA, either you want it or you don't. I don't think there's an
you
in
heard Terry,
between.
you either like it or you don't. Let's get
Yeah,
to
I
it.
don't think like GTA is one of those where I don't think there is an in between.
So it's gonna follow a Bonnie and Clyde story. Some people are saying, oh, they're brother and sister. And then some people are like, brothers and sisters don't stand like this. Where is it? Like this? Share this tab and turn it on. There we go. That brothers and sisters don't stand like this. So some of them are feeling it weird. I don't know if you have siblings, Terry. Do you stand like this with your
No,
siblings?
but I mean, there's no way they're siblings unless they're ones adopted because we have a Latina and we have a white dude.
No, they
so
could be adopted. Yeah, that's right.
so unless they're adopted or they have like a mixed racial relationship and they're like step siblings, you know what I mean? I don't foresee it. I don't foresee that happening. So yeah, no, they're not siblings. And the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing is just a thing that people want for whatever reason. I don't
Yeah,
know why. I don't know why they want that. But we'll see what Rockstar actually does.
we'll see. Now, a lot of people are very excited that Lucia is the main protagonist this time. And, shout out to her. And this image has created some controversy, as in people saying, yes, that is her. No, that's not her.
It's definitely not her.
It's in my head, it's definitely not her. In my head, it's definitely not her. I don't know, chat. Let us know. Do you think this is actually the same girl shown at the beginning? Where is it shown? Where is she? Sorry, I got to filter through a lot. Here we go. Do you think these two are the same? I don't think so.
No.
You know, Rockstar is all about the details. She has moles here. Take a look at the moles. You see them, right, Terry?
Yeah, I see them. She also has a darker skin tone.
Over here, if I can find it again. Oh. I don't see the moles. Where's the moles? Where'd they go? Yeah. Matter of fact, this person has different facial complexions. I don't think it's her.
She looks more like a white girl with a tan.
And you know what? That's very normal in Miami, where this, taking it up. Yeah.
She's gonna die young of skin cancer. Right. They spend all day in the sun.
And shout out to It's Timothy. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Timothy. She goes, "What's up, Axel on Iconic Video Games?" And Terry, hey, what's up? Thank you so much for joining us. So yeah. Now another controversy is this gentleman here. Oh no, never mind. I guess not him. Him. There we go. The actual person this is based on is suing Rockstar for $2 million.
Yes, the power of America. I love it.
For $2 million for parodying his likeness.
Do it.
Now.
You're rich while he sits in prison. The American dream. Oh, man.
I know a little bit something about copyrights and likenesses and stuff. And while you can sue somebody for using your likeness without your permission, in a work of fiction, if it's used as a parody, it's allowed. Otherwise, places like Saturday Night Live wouldn't exist. If you recall, Terry, Saturday Night Live does a lot of parodies and a lot of likenesses of a lot of real people. And they get away with it because it's a parody.
I agree. Borderlands does it. Like a lot of games have done it. So it's, it's nothing new. But hey, in America, you can sue.
That's right. In America, you can sue anybody for any reason. Yeah. I don't think it's going to go anywhere personally because, again, it's a parody. They're not modeling your real life. They're not doing anything other than that. They're just
as long
doing
as
a parody of your likeness.
Yeah. I don't know what they're calling the character in the game. So as long as they change the name and everything, then it's fine. Yeah.
So we will see how that goes. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Personally, guys, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But if he sues and he wins, yeah, we'll see what happens. Now, let's talk about the most important aspect of GTA. Here, I think I saved it. Let me look because I don't remember everything I say about everything. As the week goes on, some of this stuff escapes me, and it seems to have escaped me. I don't know where it went. It seems that the character models got a huge upgrade, which is great, which is what we want, right? But the biggest models to get upgrades have been the voluptuousness of the bodies in comparison. I feel that Rockstar always pays attention to the details, and they're like, you know what?
I don't know. That one woman's hips look way too big for her little frail body.
They pay attention to the details, and they're like, you know what? How would this bounce? How can we get this to bounce
Oh, goodness.
the what do they call it? The Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. How would Rage do it?
The thing is, while they created that scene, someone spent hours and hours staring at it. That image to make it.
I wonder if they had like,
hours.
you know how some companies hire someone like they have a developer dedicated for 2 or 3 years just on cape physics for Batman Arkham City, or sorry, Arkham Asylum. I wonder if they had someone dedicated to twerking physics for like 2 years.
For 2 years.
I wonder if they did that. So yeah, that's been garnering a lot of attention as well. Has been just how close to real life it is, and of course that's always been Rockstar's jam, is to make it as close to real life as possible, right? So, I mean, look at this. Imagine someone.
They covered him up though. The original guy was naked.
Thank God. Thank God. I don't know how you know that, Terry. Why you pay attention to those details?
Because
but yeah.
When they showed the original that they're comparing it to, they showed the original was a man naked watering his yard. This guy's got a G-string on and a tennis cap visor thing, and socks. Who stands in their grass watering shit in their socks?
I live in a neighborhood now, in a suburb, and I can tell you that is not far from the truth. There's definitely guys out there that are like in their boxers doing their yard work.
I can get boxers, but socks? Your socks are getting all wet.
But of course, the big news is that Lucia, and everybody's upset that they announced it, and it's still 2 years away, 2025, and that's before delays. Do you think this comes out in 2025, Terry? Wait, hold on. Before you answer that, hold on. Let's end this poll, find out if the chat is going to be playing Grand Theft Auto. Is the chat going to be playing Grand Theft Auto?
Are you excited? 66% said yes, and 33% said nope.
No. All right. So, Terry, even though you're not excited for Grand Theft Auto, for those of us that are we going to be playing in 2025, or do you think this gets delayed to 2026?
Oh, man, I don't know. Like, I would like to hope that they can hold to it and actually come out when they plan.
Mm-hmm.
But past years have told us that that's not possible. So, as much as I would like to have faith that they can come out on time, it probably won't. You know what I mean? It probably won't, because not a single game that is, not a single AAA game has come out on time that I can think of in a long time without a delay.
Yeah, same. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, game development now, you got to take these release dates more like
maybe Nintendo
moving targets, if you will.
Has Nintendo delayed any of their like Zelda games or anything like that? I don't know if Nintendo has.
Nintendo doesn't announce release dates until the
earliest
I've seen them announce has been 3 months.
So they do it smart. They this way they can't have a delay because no one knows when it's coming out until right before. So that works. That's actually a great plan.
Yeah, Nintendo has announced at earliest 3 months in advance.
Okay, so we have to exclude Nintendo because they actually, have common sense, whereas everybody else is like, yo, we're going to announce things years in advance and then disappoint everybody. Disappoint everybody. You know what I mean?
We need revenue. Get that release date out. Get that pre-order money.
I mean, when 5 was first announced, I think it released 2 years after it got announced. So this is on that same vein. They announced it in 23, so it's coming out in 25, the 2-year gap. So it's possible. I don't know what since they have I don't know. You know what?
Red Dead Redemption missed its launch date by a year.
I'm gonna put faith that they actually release on time, even though every fiber in my being is telling me that they're gonna be like everybody else. But I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe now, since maybe this will be the first, the first that comes out on time to start a new trend of games releasing on time. It's gonna start with GTA 6. Let's hope. for the fans.
For the fans. So Rockstar missed Red Dead by a year. So I have no faith that they're going to be able to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that it's feasible for them to launch this on time. Not that I don't want them to, I just don't think they're going to. It's just so highly unlikely for them to hit for a AAA developer. I'm not talking about Rockstar specific, but for a AAA developer to hit a release date that I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm sorry. Those of us that are excited, we're going to have to wait till 2026 for
Especially
GTA 6.
since it is definitely possible to get delayed, because also keep in mind GTA tends to usually release in like November.
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong, they're gonna miss that whole holiday release, which is going to be a crushing blow for them.
Yeah. I don't see a world where GTA 6 launches and misses that holiday window. If they're going to miss it, they're delayed a whole year. And of course, we already know, Game of the Year 2025 confirmed GTA 6. So there you go. That's going to do it for our GTA 6 talk, everybody. Let's move on to our next topic, a little more doom and gloom, if you will. There's my mouse. Okay. I was like, where'd my mouse go? And this is in particular about an Xbox development studio, Bungie. Bungie's position as an independent Sony subsidiary is reportedly under threat. Sony could take complete control of the studio if it fails to meet financial targets, it has claimed. When the PlayStation maker announced its intent to acquire the Destiny studio last year, it said Bungie would continue to operate independently, maintaining the ability to self-publish and reach players wherever they choose to play. So Bungie would be an independent subsidiary run by its board of directors, chaired by Pete Parsons and Bungie's current management team, Sony said. According to IGN, sorry, got a bad taste in my mouth just suddenly. The company's board is currently made up of PlayStation Studios head Herman Holst, Senior Vice President Eric Lempel, Bungie's co-founder Jason Jones, Bungie's Chief Technical Officer Luis Villegas, and Pete Parsons, who serves as a tiebreaker vote. But this is all reportedly contingent on Bungie hitting certain financial goals. If it fails to do so, Sony can choose to dissolve the existing board and assume full control of the company. So, in October, Bungie staff were reportedly warned that revenue was running 45% below projections for the year. So, and it's attributed to poor player retention for Destiny 2. So, it laid off 1,200 employees. It introduced money-saving measures such as a hiring freeze, reduced travel budgets, no holiday bonuses. That sucks. The pause in the cost of living pay adjustments and other benefit cuts have reportedly contributed to a significant decline in employee morale. Yeah, you take all the benefits away, that's going to happen. So they know that everything rests on how the final shape comes about. So there you go. Everything is not looking great for Bungie. So all of that is making PlayStation say, you know what? You can't just get this money for nothing. We need our money back. We need some return. So if you recall, PlayStation purchased Bungie for what was at the time $3 billion? A little over $3 billion? Am I correct on that, Terry?
I don't know. I don't remember what they bought it for. I'll have to look it up.
Let me see if a quick 3.6 billion. Yeah,
Okay.
$3.6 billion. And at the time, a lot of us were saying that Bungie's not worth 3.6. Because from what I understand, word on the forums was that Bungie was talking to Microsoft, and Bungie wanted a valuation in the billions, and Microsoft was not willing to give it to them, which is how they went. And so Bungie was just going to stay independent. Little did we know they started talking to Sony. So Bungie seems to be everybody's ex-girlfriend at this point. They were independent. They had to deal with Apple. They had to deal with. Then they got bought by Microsoft for Xbox. Then they went independent, but then they married Activision. And then they went independent again, and now they're part of PlayStation. So Bungie just keeps on moving around. Will this be the last time Bungie moves around? Do you think this is actually going to happen, Terry?
Bungie's gaming herpes.
Bungie's gaming what?
Gaming herpes.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, Bungie's greatest enemy is Bungie. All right. They have some great talent. They do, but the problem is as much as they like to pride themselves on listening to their fan base, they only listen to a certain part of their fan base, usually the big streamers. And so they're like, yo, we're going to follow these 5 people, and and whatever they say is what we're going to do. And those 5 people don't speak for the entire fan base, and so you get what you got, But Destiny 2 is a game that has a lot of potential for greatness, but it is a mess. Okay, it's not balanced at all. So if whichever character you choose to play as, it's not balanced. Okay, look, if you're a Titan, you're screwed. Okay,
yeah.
But so like,
it's not balanced.
It's not balanced at all. And when they do their I don't remember what they call it. Their Crucible war game thing that they do like once a year or whatever. They literally, it's always the same side wins every time because of how unbalanced their game is. It makes people not want to play.
If you're a hunter, you're winning.
Yeah, you don't want to contribute in it.
Yeah.
The game is way too grindy. You go through crazy torment. To get certain guns and things like. I can't remember. My husband. He tried so hard.
So far and few in between.
He tried so hard to get. There was like a specific gun you had to get in the Crucible, and you have to have like perfect games, which is ridiculous.
Play the meta. Don't play for fun. Play the meta.
It just it takes the fun out of the game, and yeah, that's a huge problem with Destiny is you have all the meta players. Like, Destiny touts itself on how they have so much option for guns and armor and things, but yet people just use the one thing that's the best, and it's usually never even the best thing. It's the one thing that one of the 5 streamers say is the best, so everybody freaking does it. You know what I mean?
One of the 5 streamers.
One of the 5 streamers, like, yo, this is the best thing ever. Okay, that's now meta because Joe Schmo on Twitch said so. So like whatever. It's stupid.
Guys, this is broken. Look what I did.
And then they went and they have their what do they call them? I haven't played Destiny in a long time. Those vault things they do. Those, what do they call them? The things where you need like a whole group of people to do them together.
Raids or strikes?
No. It's PvE.
PvE? Yeah, it's a raid.
They call it a raid? Maybe it's a raid.
It's a raid, yeah.
Okay, well, anyways, you go into the stupid arena and you have to do all these stupid puzzles and you have to all work together, and they make them take freaking forever to get through the darn things to where people don't even want to do them. Who wants to spend 8 hours trying to get through a stupid raid? Nobody. All right, except for the no-lifers that literally don't have a job and that's all they do is freaking screw around, and they're like, yo, I'm gonna just bounce around and I'm gonna do this raid 10 times and I'm just gonna help people get through it because I got nothing better to do with my life. All right. You know what I mean?
Dang.
So it's like, it's just stupid.
I feel attacked.
Ow.
I feel attacked.
Okay. You know, it's just, I don't know. Like they had some good ones, but they've had a lot of ones that people don't even want to take, don't even want to bother with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a hot mess. And they wonder why and then Bungie got political and they started putting political stuff like propaganda in their game, which should not be in their game. Just keep the game the game. Whatever viewpoints you have, but don't put them in your game. You know? Because then you're going to alienate the people who don't have that viewpoint. And that's going to hurt player base. All right.
And
so,
quick wink.
You know, so yeah, you know, like stuff that we have today, like this is a futuristic game that doesn't even, this is in a universe that doesn't exist. Okay. This is not Earth. There is no Earth in Destiny. Like our Earth. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
So why is our problems all of a sudden manifesting in there? Like they wouldn't be dealing with our problems. Okay. These guys are intergalactic people. They have different problems. Okay. We shouldn't be seeing our modern day propaganda in there. It just makes no dang sense. And all it did was create more of a rift where people didn't want to play the game. All right. So just stop it. Just stop it.
So Bungie's hemorrhaging players. You know, and Destiny 2, don't get it twisted though. Destiny 2 is still one of the most popular multiplayer games out there. But a lot of people are saying, you know, that what they're charging for these expansions isn't worth the expansion anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, $70 for another expansion to lose previous content. You know, to lose raids, to, you know, and this was always my problem with Destiny was if you didn't sink your money into it, by the time you did, you've lost out on the story. You lost out on the everything, right? You can't go back and play previous raids. You can't go back and play previous stories. You can't go back and play previous anything. So I have no idea what the hell is going on in Destiny. Like, just being honest here. No idea. The story is so convoluted in it. I have no idea what I'm fighting for anymore. Like, what is the point of the game? Like, what is the overarching story? Is like, oh, the traveler. What the hell? The traveler is what? Oh, the light and the dark and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, so every species except ours in the universe is the light? I mean, yeah, I'm starting to wonder what the hell did this traveler do to all these other species to get him to hate him? You know what I mean? But it's never well explained. It's never well thought out. You know, so I kind of do see Destiny as just being a collection of events that are not connected in any way whatsoever. If somebody can explain the story to me in 10 seconds, I'd appreciate it.
I mean, my husband probably could because he's no-lifed this game for years. This is literally the only game he played. He didn't play any other video games on Xbox except for Destiny for years. Like, he could probably explain it to you. Most of the story of Destiny isn't in the cutscenes. It's story you have to find and read and stuff. It's literally lost lore that you have to look for. The average player isn't going to do that. They're going to find something that has lore and they're going to click the button to get rid of it. They're not even going to read it. That's why majority of the player base doesn't know the story because it's not in the cinematics.
Yeah, I mean, if you're so terrible, like, it's so funny that Bungie is so remembered for telling such a good story with Halo, but yet they can't tell a good story with Destiny.
Because my husband has told me the story of what's going on, and it's like, it's pretty crazy. Like but it's like I mean, I played the same game he played. I didn't get any of that, so like, okay. But again, you know, he's played it a lot more, and you know, he actually takes the time to learn the lore, not rush through it like the average gamer is going to do.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain it to me because I love exploring and stuff, and I don't get it.
Yeah, but his big deal is he doesn't like the the writing for some of the characters. They ruined. They had like I guess some really amazing characters, and then they underutilized them, and then they had other characters that they like killed off, and then they overutilized them after they were dead. I'm like, what? I don't even know what they're doing. you know, like Cade. Cade was one of like the most favorite like characters.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
been,
Cade 6. Yeah,
Cade died. Cade died, but yet they still wanted to keep going on and on about Cade. It's like, okay, I don't know. Like, dude, if he's supposed to be like this big of a deal, why'd you kill him? you know? Freaking keep him in there then. You want to keep milking him so bad. you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I can't remember. I forgive me, like I said, I'm not big on Destiny. I played it, but the one guy that was in charge of the Titans, like I think the actor
Commander
died.
Zavala.
Yeah, like the actor died. So
yes.
So did they kill off the character because the actor died? I don't even know what they did.
No, they have selected a new voice actor for him.
Did they? Because
it's been a year, so they finally selected someone new. And that voice actor, he said he's honored to be playing such an iconic role, so on and so on, right?
Yeah, and they're probably going to rewrite the character and change them. More than likely what'll happen.
We'll see.
So yeah, that guy. What did you say his name was?
Commander Zavala.
Zavala. So Zavala was one of my husband's favorite characters in the game.
Yes.
He didn't care too much about Cade. He liked Zavala, and now he doesn't have any interest anymore because he knows they're going to ruin Zavala's character just like they ruined other characters. There was that lady, that pirate lady. I don't know her name either. Who was supposed to like the queen or whatever, who was supposed to be like this ultimate badass, and then they kind of ruined her character too, or something.
They killed her right away.
Yeah, so it's like
they killed her in the when Cade 6 died. She was the same. It was the same.
Yeah,
story.
so he's lost interest in it because the writing is so bad. He's like they have like these amazing characters and these amazing stories, and then they just kind of like, they're not utilizing the characters that should be utilized properly. You know what I mean? So they're killing their own story.
Yeah, I could tell you about a lot. I can tell you why I stopped playing Destiny. So I played first off, let's check in with the chat before it gets too far. Shout out to the Game Complainers. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And shout out to Sappho. Thank you so much for joining us. He says, shoot stuff? Yeah, exactly. You are the real MVP, Sappho. Thank you so much for joining us. And shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, boo, Destiny. Never played it, not interested. I played it. I think it's good. I think the shooting mechanics are fantastic and it's fun.
Oh yeah, it has like the best gun physics when it comes to a game. I think they have the best gun physics.
The best sci-fi gun physics in the game.
Yeah.
It's fun. I think the whole thing is fun and fantastic, but as with most MMOs, if you don't have a group, you're kind of screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to what I was saying. So I stopped playing Destiny because the whole arc where Cade 6 dies. He gets killed by what's his name? It's like the prince to that queen you were talking about.
Again, this is a conversation my husband should be having because he knows everything.
I don't know these names. Sorry, it's been a long time. So let me see. Destiny 2 Cade 6 death story. I don't know. All right, so he was killed in 2018 and 2008's Forsaken expansion when Uldren Sov, now Crow, and the Scorn Barons killed him and his ghost, Sundance, preventing Cade 6 from being revived. So Uldren Sol is the person that killed him, right? So you are after Uldren Sol. This is the guy that you want to kill, right, Terry? Right?
I guess. I don't know. I stopped doing the expansions. I didn't play like majority of them.
So you want to kill Uldren Sov, right? That's the whole point of this. Is you want revenge in Forsaken for the guy that killed Cade 6. And all through the campaign, you're following this guy, you're killing his barons, you're killing his followers. You are like, I cannot wait to get my hands on Uldren Sov. He's gonna pay the ultimate price for killing Cade 6, la 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 la, right? And oh my gosh, this is such a small image. And so I am like, I'm all in on wanting to kill Uldren Sov. It turns out Uldren Sov was taken over by some sort of giant space form. And so instead of killing Uldren Sov, you kill the giant space form that you had absolutely no idea anything about. That's the final boss. That's how they ended the story. So not only did I not get to kill this guy that's portrayed as such a badass, because Cade 6 himself was no pushover, right? So for someone to kill Cade 6, you had to be better than Cade 6. And so Uldren Sov is portrayed as this amazing, like, gunslinger, better than Cade 6, right? And he's not. Nope, you're wrong. You're wrong, Terry. It was a giant space worm.
How am I wrong? I didn't bring any of this up.
You're wrong. You're part of this.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't play this part of the game because I lost.
You're part of this. I never got to kill this clown. Never. I killed the worm that took him over and somehow had mercy on him. Screw that! You don't know me, Bungie. I would have killed him too. Allowed himself to get taken over.
Allowing himself to.
Yeah. You think I'm lying? I'm not. I would have killed him too.
How dare you host that parasite?
Right. How dare you not get your booster shot? Wear a mask next time.
Man.
Just saying, right? So
ridiculous.
Look, all I'm saying is the story that pissed me off so much you have no idea. I convinced all my friends to buy this $70 expansion because we all liked Cade 6. We were all doing so good to kill this guy, and it turns out to be a giant worm. I thought after we killed the giant worm, then we were going to play this guy, Uldren Sov, but no. In comes the queen and holds him in her bosom. My brother. La, 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 la. Bunch of crap. Bunch of crap.
So what we're taking away from this is Axel also does not like the writing team behind Destiny 2.
Look, all I'm saying is the whole trailer, the whole advertising on this was this guy killed Cade 6 and you're hunting him and his parents. This reminds me of the whole Halo 5 advertising, hunt the truth, hunt the truth.
It's about the
twist. And you're not hunting the truth. And here's like, you're getting vengeance. You're going to go kill Uldren Sov. Sucker, you thought, like, no. Let me calm down for a minute, Terry. Seriously, this is the reason I stopped playing Destiny 6. So, going back.
Destiny 6?
Yeah, sorry, Destiny 2. Sorry, because of the Cade 6 campaign. Hold on, I got a message from Dread. Let me see what it put up. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. So, yeah. This guy, this whole story arc pissed me off so much. You have no idea. You have no idea. So I haven't cared what happens in Destiny since I never got to play the advertised campaign. So the final shape is coming around, but they're going to have to do some serious advertising to get players like me interested in it again. And I got to tell you, I'm not interested.
And a lot of players didn't even jump in for that last one, that Lightfall or whatever it was.
Yeah, Lightfall, yeah. And so, they're not meeting expectations. Bungie, as you said, Bungie's biggest enemy is Bungie and Uldren Sov and the writing team.
The writing team.
They laid off 1,000 people.
That's what they needed to lay off the writing team.
They laid off 1,200 employees laid off. I hope 1,999 of those employees were writing team.
Get rid of the writing team.
I'm telling you, it's trash. It's trash. From a story perspective, like if you're gonna have an MMO, your MMO better have a continuity, an understandable progression to each expansion, and an overarching story. And I feel that Destiny has none of that. What is the overarching story in Destiny? Like, oh, you're fighting against the darkness, which is literally everybody. Right? But now, you have all these things where you're embracing the darkness as well. Because the light filtered out, so now you're using the darkness. And it's like, what? I thought we were fighting the darkness. It makes no sense, Terry. Make it make
I
sense.
never understood the concept of the whole Guardian thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Guardians were supposed to be getting like wiped out, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're bringing back, and then all of a sudden now everybody's a freaking Guardian. Like how? If Guardians are supposed to be like super rare and like the end all be all, why all of a sudden is there so many? And they're, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Splendor, first, I love Halo 5. Okay, I just think the advertising for Halo 5 was a lie. I do love Halo.
He loves his Halo. And these so-called Guardians who are the end all be all, they can't do anything on their own. They have to, they have to do everything in mass number. So are you really that good? Because to me, you just sound like average soldiers.
And I like the whole, you get brought back as long as your ghost is with you, stuff like that, right? I love the premise of it. But again, I just feel that the overarching story is not there because I have no idea what the point is. What is the point? So anyways, Bungie gets bought out for $3.6 billion. $1 billion of that, Terry, was for employee staff retention. And so they got bought out for retention. $1 billion gets put into retention. 1,200 people laid off. Goes to show you how far $1 billion goes this way these days, right? Must have all gone into Pete Parsons' pocket. But Sony's just not in the game of giving away money. Sony hasn't been around for a long time for it by being charitable. There's terms and conditions, right?
I mean, yeah, they're not going to give it away charitably, but they do waste money like crazy.
Yeah.
I remember their advertising for the very first Spider-Man with their giant trains and covering entire skyscrapers. Like they threw money away on that marketing. Let me tell you.
Right. And so $1 billion for staff retention. They're hemorrhaging players on Destiny 2, probably because nobody knows what the hell is going on anymore. And for those of us that buy the game for specifically the campaign and the raids, you're taking away previous campaigns we purchased. So why would I keep giving you money to take away my purchase? Like, I don't do that. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not going to give you money to take away my content again. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And even if you don't take it away, the fact that you did it once is enough. I'm already burned. I'm burned out. You already scarred me for life. This clown scarred me for life right here. Okay.
This clown.
So yeah. So yeah, the Bungie could be taken off, and it kind of, when who's the PlayStation CEO? Jim Ryan famously said, "We will get more than $36 billion out of Bungie or something like that, and value." So the PlayStation brings in people that are multiplayer experts. They make them the end all be all. They show them all their games as a service. And they're like, no, this ain't it. This ain't it, fam. This ain't it. Cancel this. Cancel that. But yet they themselves can't get players anymore. Would you be taking advice from someone that's on the downtrend?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bungie, as you said, Bungie's biggest enemy is Bungie. Truer words had never been said. Shout out to Terri. Yeah, and employee morale is low. Yeah, you reduce you aren't getting them help. You reduce their travel budgets. Probably that one's okay, I guess. No holiday bonuses. Why am I working then? The pausing of cost of living pay adjustments. What? How am I going to afford to eat my avocado toast? You know,
those Californians. Okay.
And other benefit cuts that have reportedly contributed to a significant decline in employee morale. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of declining morale, here we go. I'm just kidding. That is a terrible segue. Shout out to Dreadpool. Thank you so much for joining us, Dreadpool. Dread, you there?
You muted.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for that morale, Pete. I feel like I work at Bungie now. Jeez. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Had a late night session, but
no,
not as bad as Bungie's been having.
Let's see. So I'm still on my rant here.
Yeah.
Going
on about how much he hates the writing team.
Just stop taking it out on me.
Yeah. But Dreadpool got some stray bullets. Yeah. So now they're doing so bad, that they keep cutting expenses, and most companies, as is normal in corporate America, the expense they're willing to cut the most is going to be employees. Then, because I can bet you right now that who's the CEO of Bungie? Pete something? Parsons something?
Yeah.
Parsons. I'm just going to call him Parsons. Pete Parsons. There we go. Pete Parsons is not taking a pay cut to save Bungie. He never will. Right? Instead of him taking a pay cut, because I'm sure him taking a 10% pay cut could probably save 500 of these jobs. Just saying. I know for a fact CEOs are overpaid. And they're saying, "Oh, we're going to keep laying people off to keep meeting financial targets." So I'm guessing that their financial target might be more of a ratio, an expense to, you're only allowed to expend so much and profit so much. But yeah, and some people are saying, Bungie was brought in to save PlayStation's games as a service things, but who's going to save Bungie this time? Bungie is the one that's always said, we left Microsoft because they wouldn't let us work on Destiny 2 or on Destiny. They wouldn't let us get off Halo. We went to Activision Blizzard to get financed for Destiny, and Activision Blizzard kept them on track. And I remember after the split, Activision Blizzard came out and said that they kept having to allocate teams to get content out to Bungie. So it's not like Bungie was putting out these expansions by themselves on this cycle, right? Activision Blizzard, they are probably the best content games as a service studios in the world. Because all of their games are games as a service.
Yeah, they try
so they know what it takes, and they just kept throwing money at it to keep the content rolling, right? And then they went independent. They put out like 2 or 3 expansions, including this thing right here. And now they're back. They're under PlayStation, but PlayStation didn't bring you to help you put out content. They brought you in so you could help them put out content. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be the savior. And now you're in trouble. So, who saves the savior, as they were saying in yesterday's podcast that I was watching? Whose was it? It was, I believe it was the Lion's Den. Shout out to Lemon. I watched a few podcasts yesterday. So I believe it was being said on the Lion's Den. By Lemon, who saves the savior? And honestly, I don't think anybody does. I think Bungie's days are finally numbered. Their gambling has finally caught up with them, unless by some miracle they go independent again, or by some miracle the final shape ends up being this.
The final shape is literally the end of Destiny as we know it.
Yeah. The final shape is the PlayStation logo. They need to replace this ominous looking guy right here with a big old PlayStation logo. Somebody make it happen. Photoshop it.
Like, he doesn't even look like he belongs in the world of Destiny.
Yeah.
You know.
So shout out to Sith Lord. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Shout out to Crazy Greek Dude. He said, "Yo, I got here late, but I'm here. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP." The Great Dreadpool has arrived. Yeah, he sure has. And Bungie finessed themselves out from under both Activision and Microsoft. I don't see them getting out of this one. Yeah, exactly my point. I think it's finally caught up to them. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I like Bungie. I think they do great work. I was going to try Marathon, but as I said, since that Forsaken expansion and taking away my content and not finding the actual guy I wanted to fight, I'm out. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll kill him next expansion. Nope. Haven't been able to kill him since. So nope. I'm out. Shout out to RWK88. He says, "Good morning, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, RWK88. You are the real MVP. The chat's finally rolling in." Hold on, let me get this going here. Dreadpool. So the topic is Bungie's in trouble.
Tell me something new.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bungie was bought for $3.6 billion. They've laid off 1,200 people in an attempt to keep Sony from disbanding the board and fully taking over Bungie so that they can maintain their independence. In a nutshell. Take it away, Dreadpool.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of the deal, and with the way that things are going, if you think about it, I don't blame Sony for trying to do any of that stuff. PlayStation, Sony, whichever company you want to allocate the responsibility of taking control of the money. But that was part of the deal. Was what was it? $3 million plus was
$3.6 billion.
Yeah,
and $1 billion of it that was for staff retention. Remember?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. There was that staff retention there, and if they're going to sit there and the rumor has it that they're going to say that certain games were not good enough to be published and they need to go back to work on the drawing board, and they're not holding up their end of the bargain either. So yeah, I mean, it's sad because we have a lot of good friends that are so hyped into the storyline, but having
what did you just say?
We have a lot of good friends that are hyped into these storylines.
What? Into the storyline?
Yeah.
What storyline?
You missed it. You missed the story.
Yeah. Ask Back from the Dead. Ask
Back, are you here? Because if you could explain Destiny's storyline.
No. We don't want that right now.
If you can explain it in 240 characters or less.
Yeah,
sorry, keep going, Dreadpool.
No, that's the thing. Is and with the delay, and with this, and with that, you don't think this was bound to happen? You don't think that this was bound to be like, I don't know, eye-catching to one of the execs on the upper side going, wait a second, we gave these guys autonomy, and they came and keep themselves afloat. They lost how many players? They delayed the expansion. They're losing people. Where's that money coming in?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people when that happened with the employees and the game being pushed back, was mostly when the game was pushed back. They went ahead and canceled their pre-order. So that was money that a lot
of people did cancel their pre-orders. You're right. I remember that.
Yeah, a lot of that money that was prepaid to say this is a good idea was also yoked back out saying this is a bad idea. I'm not supporting this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's funny because I was listening earlier trying to make my coffee so I can get here. For them to be bouncing around, Activision saying what they said, it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Halo's the older brother that's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple slip ups, whatever in life, but back on their feet. And Destiny's the younger brother that was coddled and babied. And the younger brother just thinks that they can do anything and is out in the real world.
Spoiled. They're spoiled.
Exactly. They just can't do it. So either way, it's unfortunate that they can't keep going the way that they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And if Sony takes over, we don't even know. We don't even know which way it would go. You know what I mean? Because with the current state of Sony, it's
I can almost
it's
guarantee you that if
fire.
Sony takes over, they would immediately launch Destiny 3 and make it exclusive.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, isn't
This should be
Marathon?
the end, the final shape. That literally sounds like a title that should be the conclusion for Destiny 2. It
Oh, you
really
don't know
should.
Yeah.
Destiny. You don't know
You know?
Destiny. How dare you?
This
I'm
is
just saying, you know, I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't get
I'm
over
just
the guy
kidding
in the
with you.
background because every time I look at that guy in the background, he doesn't look like he belongs. And I keep thinking that dude seriously looks like some guy that could, you know, that should be from like the Power Rangers. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
ironically,
keep
there's
thinking
another
he looks like
guy.
an owl. It's Owl Man. No, but you know, and that's the thing though, is they've been running this so long, you know, and think about it. Yeah, Neverwinter Nights, they keeps on pushing out expansions, but not I don't think I don't play it, so I don't know how well or how versed these expansions are. You have WoW that does the same thing. They had to restart a couple times. They brought back Classic. So they've pivoted here and there,
Mhm.
but you got to ask, how long can these singular games keep going? You know, there was a lot of backlash with this one here. You
Yes.
know, and that's you're taking away the game that I paid for. You're taking away part of not the game, but part of the storyline that I paid for. And I
That's
know
my
that
biggest problem.
they put, according to Back from the Dead, there is a spot that will never come back because it kind of leads off a certain way, but most of it is coming back or has been back, and a lot of it's like the Xbox 2013. It's just once it's been put out into the ethos, it's as if it's true today when it's not. So I know Back has said that a lot of that storyline has been brought back in, so it's not like you can't play it. But again, when that's what you remember, that's what you know, why would you want to play it? And then you know that there are some parts of the storyline that can never come back because of the way that the story's progressed. You know, so when it comes to all that, it's like, how do you keep pushing like this? You know, I think they're running out of ideas. Like they don't have enough people looking into the future. They don't have uh their Avengers, Marvel game plan for phases and all that, like they should. For them to be bouncing around from not happy and leaving, trying to be autonomous, and still can't do it autonomously, and they still have to join another company, and then that company says we had to send people to help you. It shows that the leadership's not 100% there. We've already talked about. I know you brought it up earlier that the leadership, what's his face, didn't even want to take a pay cut, and I don't,
Pete Parsons.
yeah, I don't blame him.
I mean,
But at the
you
same
always got to look
time,
out for number one. They say, right?
yeah, you always got to look out for number one. But if number one is Destiny and that's feeding your family and feeding, you still got to look as a number one. You still got to look after the troops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those troops are feeding their families, and if they can't feed their families, that's not a good look on you. And for
Right.
you to lose out on a little bit, even if he called it like a temporary reduction,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Like
uh,
Nintendo CEO did.
yeah,
Yeah.
something to help out. There's times when you do stuff like this. There's times when you do what's right because it's right, not because you're trying to look like a good guy. You're doing it because that's what is supposed to happen. And if you can't show your mothership that you're doing your job as an alien out there, what are you going to do? Mothership's going to come in and swoop in, and that's what's happening now. They're swooping in, and trying to figure out where you're screwing up. Where's this money loss? Where's my investment? Because they're not seeing it. That was the whole point. These purchases are investments. Bungie being purchased was literally that, an investment. That extra money was the guarantee that those devs stayed put. The graphic artists, the programmers, everybody stayed put and stayed working because they know exactly what happened with Halo. What happened with Halo Infinite? Oh, it launched. What happened after that?
They got to work.
No. They laid off all the temps. And then they barely had anybody that could support the game.
Yeah, the whole using the whole, what is it, 18-month contract thing?
Yeah. So when you look at it like that, okay, well, if these guys leave, we're gonna be in the same boat. So obviously, you gotta look at what's good for the overall machine. And if the machine doesn't run, nobody can survive. So unfortunately, this is something that the bigger machine is going to take care of and look into it. I mean, it happens with all these companies. Our companies do the same thing. We're going underneath another one of those reevaluations again in my company. We're going to do something different. And of course, my office is the one that they like to do all the tests theories of, hey, let's try it this way, and if it works, it goes company wide. If it doesn't, you guys are a redheaded stepchild. So what do you think's going to happen here? Same scenario. We let you do something, it ain't working. You're a redheaded stepchild now. Now we're going to come in and tell you what to do. And then eventually, because of your situation, you will be able to carry on with Destiny. You'll be able to carry on with Marathon. And kind of go from there, and we'll test these waters again with you and see how we like it, and if it works, good. If it doesn't, we're gonna come back and tear you apart again. So that's how I see it happening. I mean, business is business, and you know that they do it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all these points are. I mean, as Terri said, this is all Destiny, Bungie's own making.
Bungie's destiny is his destiny.
Yeah, that's right. Safo says, I hate to say it, but once Sony takes over Bungie, Bungie's going to going to help get factions across the finish line. Same for that Haven game. You know what? They should already be doing that. They need money. They should be, you know what? Hey, we'll help you do some programming over here to do this, to do that, unless it's included now. Left pocket, right pocket kind of thing. They should already be doing that.
Well, if you listen to the rumors, they're just doing the orders, and they're not doing anything down in the trenches. And that's what they should be doing, is being in the trenches, helping out, not just saying orders. There should be a couple of captains saying, hey, look, you guys are fighting this trench war wrong. You don't just stand up and run across until you see an opening, until you have an opening, until you have a bombardment where you can jump forward, and then have those other soldiers down there doing the same thing. Stay down, keep your head down, make sure you have a helmet on, the basics. And if they're not helping them out on the lower trenches as well as the higher trenches, the command post, this is what's going to happen. And it's biting them back. Yeah.
Absolutely. So 2Pad Stack 7 says, hey, what's going on, 2Pad Stack 7? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. The game completer says Herman Hulse equals Herman Monster.
Monster.
I think the same thing every time. Monster.
Shout out to Jason Max. Thank you so much for joining us. He says, just remember, Xbox is number one. Yeah. DE, shout out to DE. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVPs. He says, they lost me when they released, Jesus, I'm going to slaughter this, Galahorn in the 30th anniversary pack, and the credible versions of the weapons need the Gorn. Yeah. It's complicated. The crafting system is overly complex now. Sith Lord says, happy anniversary to 30th anniversary to Doom. That's right. Lots of us grew up on Doom. So I feel behind as a matter of principle because I won't pay to win with Gorn. Yeah, I agree to that. Let's see. I'm sure Cerny went into the Bungie acquisition with the thought of fully owning them in time. Yeah, I just didn't think it would be so soon. Protect Sony and PlayStation. They are perfect and never go wrong. IGN says so. Shout out to Remake Station 5. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Wow. Let's see. Naughty Dog's too busy making TV shows to help. Come on, Bungie. Yeah. It's just it's sad what's happening to Destiny, but it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. So there you go. I think we've killed that topic for the last 45 minutes. I think we're good. Let me write this down. Okay. So our last topic, and there's going to be a lot to talk about on this topic, so we're just going to go in an order, if you will, guys, is the Game Awards.
Did you want to go into my thing first?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Before we segue into the
Going into Terry's thing first.
Yes.
Give me 1 second here. Where's Terry's thing? Here it is.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Indie Spotlight. I am your host, coolcatterri. No, yes, I'm taking over the show for the moment. All right, guys, so once again, I picked out another game for you all that most of you probably have never heard of, because that's what I do. So let's just get right into the trailer, and then we'll dive deeper.
Rated M for mature.
Never speak to anyone about what happened on this night. And remember, you have seen nothing.
Did they take John? I'm really sorry, Rat.
It's about immortal beings. Look, this odd coin is the key. I've been searching for it all my life. Why do I speak and understand every language? Am I really the devil's son?
Is that the only thing that worries you?
Now it's your turn to protect the treaty of the flesh.
Behold the power of the Inquisition! No son of Satan will ever escape the wrath of God. Not even he who hides in noble garments.
It's written in an unknown language. One so rare it could even date back to the days of the Tower of Babel.
Come on, the catacombs are about to come. There you go. Hey, don't die, okay?
Sorry.
Yago! Help me!
I did find this.
Pauline.
Okay. So, Yesterday Origins. This is going to be your narrative-driven action-adventure. Kind of like more of like a point-and-click kind of style game. So, if you're into, games like that, so if you're, your Deponias, your Monkey Islands, things like that, then this is going to be another one for you to check out. It's got investigation. It's got, it's a thriller. It has the occult. It has all kinds of things. It's got dark humor. Just a quick thing. Your character has been alive for hundreds of years. They die and they keep coming back, but they lose all their memory. So you got to unravel all kinds of craziness to figure out what's actually going on. And it's a very good story, and you guys are going to have a good time with it. And there's a lot of, there's over 20 different characters in the story. So like it's pretty involved. You can go ahead and pick it up for $10 on console. $10. All right. Or if you want to, spend more money, it's $15 on PC. But otherwise, yeah, $10 on console. You can play it on Xbox, Switch, or your PlayStation.
All right.
There you have
Another
it.
fantastic indie from the Queen of Indies, Terri. But Terry, before we move off too far from the Destiny topic, we had a Destiny poll.
We had a poll. Will Sony take over Bungie? 78% said yes, it was always the master plan. 14% no, don't come up with the money. That's some wishful thinking right there, you 14%. And then 7%, Bungie will go independent.
Again.
Again. I don't think they can go independent. I don't know. I feel like if it's the way that they have the agreement, I don't think they'll be able to go independent again.
You'd have to pay up that money again.
Money that they can't seem to get. That's why they keep trying to,
Yeah.
new dancing partners to pay for everything.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
that game looked pretty cool though. I had to say that. I did got weirded out with that one spot where they're in the catacombs and she had a booger hanging out of her nose.
All right. So let's get right into the Game Awards. So the Game Awards were Thursday. Lots of hot topics coming out. Of course, the exciting stuff is the trailers. And I want to talk about the trailers last because, I think that's the happy point. I want to end on the happy point. But first, I want to talk about the controversy, if you will. Some people seem to be taking it very personal that Mr. Christopher Judge, at him taking a quick poke at Call of Duty campaign. So some people are saying that, Christopher Judge should not have made that joke because it's supposed to be quote unquote celebrating the devs, and bashing on them is not celebrating them.
I mean, every single person that's probably upset has probably bashed a developer at some point. Come on, you're a gamer. We are overly critical.
Yeah.
Okay. So no.
So
no.
to quote Christopher Judge here, he said, "My speech was actually longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign." I can also tell you I did not listen to your speech. It was too long. TLDR, right? Christopher Judge put that out there, and some people are taking it very personal, and even some of the Call of Duty devs are firing back. I mean, they took it personal.
They should take it personal.
As far as I know, to me it was a quip. It was a joke done in it was a joke. The fact that it was, the fact that people are getting butthurt over it, I just don't know. I think it was. He's not the only one who has said that the Call of Duty campaign is short.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the first one to say it. He's just the one that said it, that did it in a comical fashion. Back in, I remember somebody was like, and the winner is, oh, hold on. Oh man, what's this? A microtransaction fee, and he used his credit card to slice open the envelope. Making fun of the microtransactions in video games. So, people use that platform to kind of, air out some of the grievances with the game industry. Do you think it was appropriate, inappropriate? What are your thoughts, Terri?
I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, come on. It's not like, I don't know. It's one of those, there could be things that could be said that would be inappropriate, that could be knocking on a developer, but, making a joke about how short a campaign isn't that big a deal. It's not. There's way worse things that he could have been said. So people are, they need to lighten up, and learn what humor is, because no joke exists without making fun of something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to make fun of something. All right. But get over it. Come on. It was a short campaign. People who played it have said so. Whether you liked it or not is your own opinion. But, it was a short campaign.
Yeah. So some of the things people have said is some of the shit fired back is like funny. But, yeah, the metrics that Call of Duty absolutely destroys all of the God of War games, probably combined, to be honest, is also equally laughable, if not more. Someone else said, imagine having short user engagement once your game is consumed. Can't relate. Honestly, as Call of Duty developers, we've heard way worse. This from Darcy Sandal, who is a senior developer at Sledgehammer Games. We've heard, honestly, as Call of Duty developers, we've heard way worse, but we don't expect it from a peer. At an event that's supposed to be celebrating this year's achievements in gaming, especially with all the information that was leaked about its development. They're talking about the crunch, right? And that comes from Darcy Sandal, who is from Sledgehammer Games themselves. So yeah, I mean, they're saying that they just didn't expect it from a peer. That's the part that they got from, you know.
Like jabs can go either way. The Call of Duty people want to jab God of War, but you know what? You can even God of War can jab back because at least God of War has been nominated and won stuff. Was Call of Duty won?
Money.
The
only thing that really matters.
Call
money.
Call of Duty definitely makes the most money because it's freaking on everything, and they churn those games out, like crazy. But I mean, most of those games aren't even that good. People are riding on the fact that it's Call of Duty. A lot of the Call of Duty games are kind of terrible.
When I was a waiter, I didn't care to get compliments. I didn't want you to compliment me. I wanted you to leave me a bigger tip. So, the Game Awards, yeah, it's great. It's a great compliment, but I wanted the money. So maybe that's the way Call of Duty people are feeling too. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, Call of Duty, Christopher Judge made a joke. Some people took it. The actual developers, Darcy Sandal, took it in as bad humor. I thought it was funny, but I'm also not a developer.
Nah, bad humor would have been bad humor would have been making fun of the guy that came out in a boot, the medical boot. That would have been bad humor.
You're talking about Ken?
Yeah, the guy who came out because he hurt his foot or whatever.
Yeah, Ken from Barbie. Yeah. That's all I know him from now is Ken from Barbie.
Like whatever. So I'm like, that would have been, bad taste, but
yeah, Loki and Asgard's Wrath. That's his voice. Yes.
All right. So I've kept quiet long enough. The thing is, it's been taken out of context. Okay. Yeah. It's an elbow jab to your friends. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you remember, and a lot of people don't even remember this part of it. Remember last year when they were playing the music and he kept on rambling on, thanking everybody but his wife. Okay, that was the whole thing. And what happened as soon as he got on stage, right? This joke was planned. He was making fun of himself. As soon as he got on, they started playing the music to get him off stage.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, and that's what he's talking about. He's talking about that his speech was longer than Call of Duty. Not that Call of Duty was so short. I mean, yes, it's short because that was the reference, that it was a short, but his speech was so long, and that's the whole point of the joke. People completely took out of context. It was a jab to your friend, but yet you're making fun of yourself at the same time. That's what he was doing. That was it. People are taking it and being too sensitive about something like this, and who really cares? You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. It's like we're making a big deal out of something that was like to make it laugh. Again, he was making fun of himself. He wasn't really making fun of Call of Duty, but yes, it was an elbow jab to Call of Duty because that is what was going on in the industry. Everybody was talking about how short of a campaign it is. It's not that it's a short campaign. It's just shorter than normal. And people are just way oversensitive, and it's like the Xbox tax here is no, not everything's an Xbox tax. He made a joke about himself in last year, plain and simple. It wasn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it, because you got to watch the whole speech from the time he stepped on stage to the time he walked away. He did his whole thing. That part of it was a joke. It was not a joke in bad taste to Call of Duty. It was not a joke in bad taste to those devs. It was a joke on how long he stayed on stage, and they were trying to kick him out because as soon as he got on, they played the music. It was all set up. They already knew what was going to happen. So it wasn't like he just spewed it out there. If it wasn't for that part of it where he said, I got to remember to thank my wife, because you remember what happened last time, and they had the music going on as soon as he's like, and I just get out here, no, that whole thing was the setup for the bigger piece.
I mean,
So
everybody was rushed for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, there were select devs that got time to just kind of stand up there and promote their game, but everybody who won an award got rushed.
Everybody's
Like
the
super
only-
rushed.
the
Yeah,
only
right here.
person that
Please
was
wrap
not-
it up. Those images are now viral.
Yeah. The only one that wasn't wrapped up was Jeff. So he's the
Yeah.
only one that could delay if he needed to, because it's his show.
Yeah.
But again, even though it's his show,
Achilles.
he needs to be on a time frame because it's also giving less time for everybody else.
For his advertisers.
Yeah. But that was the whole thing about this. It's like people are so sensitive that they're nitpicking certain things. And no. Look at the whole picture. Like we see these videos, these viral videos of these fights and stuff that's going on. Someone I literally ran into that last night. Somebody said, "Oh, because of this is why this is happening." And then I look at the main video and found the source, and it's actually something completely different. Someone just pieced together what they thought and put it out there and said this negative thing. I don't want to even bring it up because it's ridiculous, but bring this negative thing. And then I just didn't, and everybody jumped on that like this was fact. And it's like, no, you just misconstrued what you think because you pieced a couple things together that had nothing to do with anything. But yet here I am looking at the original post from the original video that this came from, and it actually lays out the backstory and where it actually truly came from originally. And I laid it out there, but it was like too late. Everybody's already jumped on the bandwagon. And then when you see the normies hearing about this, oh no, oh my God, no. You're looking at these clips that are manufactured to show these propaganda sides between Sony and Xbox. And right now, Chris Judd is getting the hate because, oh my God, he took down Call of Duty with a bad joke. No, he didn't.
Can you even call it a bad joke? It's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
It is
To me, it's
it
just
is
a
a joke, but it's a joke out of context because they forgot to include the first part of it. It's all narratives, and this is what's going on again. We're seeing the Xbox side of the narratives popping out there that these people, I don't know, need to get out of their mommy's basement and grow up and learn to take responsibility for yourself. And I don't know, if you're going to put something out there, put the whole truth out there, not your side of it. That's the whole thing. It's just
I mean,
a joke.
that's what people
You're
do these
riling
days, though.
Yeah, but you're riling up the troops, and these troops also need to get out of mommy's basement or attic or whatever. If they're in the second floor, whatever. I don't care if they're living underneath the stairs. Get out of there.
In the Harry Potter room?
Yeah.
Not the Harry Potter room.
So, but yeah, this is a joke. Look into the whole thing. Stop letting these trolls feed the narrative. That's the thing. I don't know who's offended. I don't know. There's so many people that are offended. That's the problem. I do know people. Now that I think about it, I do know people that got offended over it. And I'm like, dude, look at the whole thing.
Let's check in with the chat real quick. So I think we're all in agreement here. It's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
Just a joke, yeah. Let me change out of topic here. Let's see. Let's check in with the chat. Where was it? So DE says it was a bash against upper management. Yep. Fact check: Call of Duty campaign was longer than 8 minutes.
Actually, his speech
is correct. Jason
his
Max,
speech
absolutely.
wasn't even 8 minutes.
Yeah.
If you really want to fact check it, it was like 7 minutes and something.
Shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. She joins us. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let me make sure. Are you still modding? Let me make sure here that I still have you in as a mod.
Who,
You
Queen?
are. Okay, just making sure my mod is here. Yeah. Hey, you never know. YouTube sometimes does stuff, right? Let's see. Christopher Judge made joke made me laugh after I heard it. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Remake Station says Call of Duty is the #1 played game on the PS5. Yeah. It's most played game everywhere. Yeah. I think it's funny people think God of War is a big deal. It is. I think it is. Yeah. I think it is anyway. Let's see. The thing is, I don't know anybody who cares what he said. Hey, the developer cared. And that's what we're mostly talking about here. If it was just some media guy, I would not have brought this up.
And it's like majority of my friends that I game with, none of them even watch the Game Awards. You know what I mean? Like casual gamers, they don't watch the Game Awards. It's just the media and like the hardcore gamers.
A lot of them don't even know about it. Which is still funny. And again, right? Think about this. A lot of them don't even know about the Video Game Awards. Just like we're so into Xbox that we find it so weird that we talk about Game Pass, and still we have friends that are like, "What's Game Pass?" After all these years, and you've point blank to their face said about Game Pass, and they're like, "What's Game Pass?"
Right?
So it's like, oh, come on now. Don't forget the best part of the joke. At the end, he said, "Well, that's another company I'll never work for."
Yes, right.
Not that he's saying he will never work for. It will be another company that won't hire him. You know what I mean? So it depends on how you look at it. And maybe it's a double entendre. Maybe it's a double meaning there. Who knows? But I thought that was kind of funny too. I was like, oh, another dig, another elbow. Like,
another jab.
Oh, now that I made that joke, I'm out the door. You know what I mean?
At least he knew.
Yeah,
at least he knew, right?
It was self-aware of the jokes.
At least it was self-aware. RWK88 says the fact that grown people are in their feelings over a joke about a game, face palm. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Terry.
I'm just saying, it's not like he has that much talent when like majority of the time, and all anybody cared about was his whether or not he could say boy. Like no one cared about the rest of your acting. All they cared about was
I love
boy.
God of War, man. I think he did a great job.
So
he
whatever.
was good.
He was good, but I'm just saying people undersold his talent because all they cared about was him saying boy.
Boy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Gogo Paul. Shout out to Gogo Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, "Who is offended? Seriously, I don't know anybody who's mad. It's just a carefully constructed straw man to hate on Call of Duty more. As I said, the developer cared. If the developer would have never tweeted that tweet that I quoted earlier, I would have never brought this up. Because honestly, I thought it was funny. Yeah.
I do know some people that took offense to it before the devs even did.
Yeah.
But again, those are some of the hardcore Xbox.
Jeez.
Let's give it back to them people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dan the Man Cunningham says, we're in an age where comedy comes at a price. Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean, look at all these comedians that are supposedly getting canceled. And this isn't a comedian. This is just an actor trying to do a speech and throw a little joke in there.
Absolutely.
Ouch.
Boogeyman says, what's up, everybody? What's going on, Boogeyman? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Yeah, I think we've spent enough time on that, on Christopher Judge. I'm not judging Christopher Judge. I thought it was funny. So let's move on. Guys, I don't know if you heard. There's a certain superhero property that's coming to Xbox. Finally, Xbox might get their own superhero. And it's a superhero that people have been wanting. And that is none other than Blade, being developed by Arcane. Now, Arcane did fantastic with Dishonored 1, Dishonored 2. So I think they could use some of those powers in Blade. They already know how to do it.
Man.
they did kind of crappy with the vampire powers, and I'm not going to say the vampire powers are late, but they did kind of underdeliver in help me out here, Dreadpool.
What?
The vampire game from Arcane.
Redfall?
Redfall, thank you. They did
Why are you looking at
underdeliver.
me for Redfall?
Because I know you bought it.
I didn't buy it.
Death Dealer did.
No, she didn't.
Oh, I know you played it. How's that?
We played it. It's
There you
actually
go.
much
Okay.
better now. Yeah, much better.
I know you downloaded it. How's that?
Yes. Game Pass. Game Pass is the
Game
key.
Pass,
I
baby.
rented it.
That's right. So Arcane Leon from France is making a Blade video game in France. Very exciting time for Xbox fans. We're all very excited. But at the end of the trailer, let me see if I can find the trailer real quick, guys. At the end of the trailer, there was no Xbox logo. There was no Game Pass logo. There was no anything to suggest that it's coming to Xbox exclusively. Right? So let me just get to the end of the trailer, because that's what I care about, right? So this is all that's shown at the end of the trailer, right here. Arcane, Bethesda, Leon, now in development, 2023 Marvel, 2023 ZeniMax Media Inc., all rights reserved. That's it.
Hey, you know what's funny? You're getting roasted here in the chat.
You are.
Am I?
Yes, because it's Arcane, but it's not the same studio.
They're getting
Arcane Leon.
hooked up.
That's what I
They're
said.
getting hung up on semantics.
Arcane Leon is not Arcane.
Is Arcane not
Austin.
owned by the? Is Arcane not
It's
managed by the same
Arcane,
guy
it's
at the top?
Arcane is
Just asking.
Arcane, but
Arcane is
Leon,
Arcane, right?
yeah, but Austin is who made Redfall. Different
Yeah.
studio underneath the same developer banner, or different same studio, different banner. But yeah,
I wonder if I'm on Teams calls with the same bosses.
Yes.
Anyways,
same bosses.
Semantics.
So yeah,
So
semantic.
yeah.
Semantics.
And if you're gonna say Arcane Leon, spell it right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
so
it's not. If you guys want to hang over me with the semantics, I'm gonna hang on you with spelling, guys.
well, here's the funny part.
Arcane Leon spelled Al. What is it? There we go. Lyon. Lyon. Right there.
It's okay. Most of these people can't spell Spider-Man correctly either, so it's okay.
Is there a right way to spell Spider-Man? Because
Yeah, it's
sometimes it's one word,
hyphenated.
sometimes it's two words, sometimes it's hyphenated.
It's hyphenated.
Sure. Whatever you say there, Terry. Sure.
You got to remember they made different games. So, but again, they're underneath the full-on Arcane, which is underneath Bethesda, which is underneath Xbox. So, regardless of who the peon is at the very
Who
bottom,
the peanut is? Who's the big daddy that signed that check?
exactly. You don't think
No.
that they're going to have somebody above them going, "Don't do what your little sister did." Okay, so yes,
Yeah. And I'm
let's-
sure that Arcane has gotten a very motivating talk from the CEO of gaming, Phil Spencer, to do things. So yeah, Arcane Leon is making Marvel's Blade, and of course, you know me, I thought Arcane Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2 is amazing. So they have the powers down. Think what you will about Redfall. The powers in Redfall, from what I hear from Death Dealer, are fantastic, right, Dread? All right, no Dread. Okay. Point is, Arcane as a whole knows how to do powers, and as you know, Blade has powers. Blade is a metahuman, if you will. But nothing. The big argument, the big conversation is it an exclusive or not? Now, Windows Central published an article saying that it was exclusive, but everybody went to the website to see where it said that it was exclusive. And nobody has said that it's exclusive or anything. And then to add even better to today, shout out to Aaron Greenberg this morning. He posted this as his profile picture, Blade with 2 Xbox logos on it.
That still
So,
doesn't mean it's exclusive.
what
just
does it
means that
mean? What could it
just
mean?
This means that it's gonna be on Xbox.
Right. First off, let's start at the beginning. Terry, are you excited for this Blade game? Actually, hold on. Let me check with the chat because the chat is rolling right now.
They're rolling and roasting you.
Oh man. Anyone know who's playing Blade in the upcoming game?
It won't
the
be
voice actor,
Wesley
you mean?
Snipes.
It's not Wesley Snipes.
It's not Wesley Snipes.
Redfall was done by Austin Arcade. Red Ball, different studio, by the way. Wow. Redfall was made by that studio. Arcane Leon is a different studio. Yes, I know.
Oh my
People
God.
are already framing the
We're
game
gonna
as bad.
start-
I'm not. I'm just saying
gonna
that
start
Arcane as a whole
nitpicking.
knew how to do powers.
Gonna start nitpicking all the Ubisoft studios.
Axel, you don't even spell my name right, Jesse Darby. Shout out to Jesse Darby. Thank you so much for joining us. But you don't even spell my name right. He says, Axel, Arcane Austin did Redfall, not Arcane Leon. Webday, the studio is not the same studio that did Redfall. Wrong studio. I know. Did you not hear me say Arcane Leon at the beginning? Let's see. DE says, when it's confirmed for 60 FPS, then I'll take interest in Blade. Until then. Oh my God. Let's see. I can already hear the other side already. Blade is just Redfall 2. Wow. RWK Blade is 8 to 10 years out. That's why there wasn't a logo. Well, that could be true. Let's see. That's not semantics. It's a different whole studio. Leo made Dishonored and Deathloop. Yes, I know, and they were fantastic. Spell check sucks, Axel.
Sucks.
When he said spell check sucks. Shout out to Jesse Darby. Thanks so much.
Spell check just made you look like the fool because it literally failed when you needed it most.
Let's see. Web Dave says, sorry, Axel, not semantics. A completely different studio with completely different programmers. Just to be clear, owned by Microsoft, but a different studio.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, but same assets. Just thrown out there. Same flavor.
No. You just keep digging that hole.
Hey, Dreadpool, do you eat Doritos? Are Cool Ranch Doritos still Doritos?
Of course they are.
Yeah? Okay, just making sure.
What you should be asking is Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew, are they part of Pepsi or are they not?
Dr. Pepper is its own company. Of course not.
But it's part of Pepsi.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Dr. Pepper is its own thing. Look, man. Dr. Pepper is Texas water. We know it's not
water?
Pepsi, okay?
It's still under the Pepsi ownership.
It is not.
It is.
I'm looking this up right now. Let's see. Is Dr. Pepper owned by Pepsi?
Oh man, you're gonna get roasted here.
Dr. Pepper has been owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper since 2008.
Oh,
it says Dr. Pepper is the parent company of 7-Up and Snapple. Or Dr. Pepper
roasted.
and Snapple together
Uh-huh.
own.
Go ahead. You can tell me I was right, Dreadpool. It's okay. Go
Oh
ahead,
no, but
let's take this moment. Somebody hit record.
I can do the buy one get one combo when it comes to Dr. Pepper, when it comes to Pepsi, and when it comes to Mountain Dew.
Yeah, so, that's just a Kroger special.
No. But when it comes to Coke, you can't buy any of those mixes with anything like that with Coke. You got to get Coke products. So
right.
Pepsi, it's part of the Pepsi product. Oh wait, when it comes to the grocery stores, who stocks Dr. Pepper? The same guy that stocks Pepsi. So
hey, contractors are contracted, Dreadpool. You know this. Anyway,
they're the same trucking company.
This is fun.
It does say that Coca-Cola took Dr. Pepper's rights and Pepsi took 7-Up's rights, but then they changed hands a few more times. So it looks like it was Coca-Cola that had Dr. Pepper for a bit.
They also shut down Sprite. They stopped making it again.
Yeah. Doggy Dog says Spider-Man is spelled with no awards. Shout out to Doggy Dog. Wow. Let's see. And the other man Cunningham says, actually, I'm quite looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely.
They're still making Sprite though. I think you are mistaking. Sierra Mist is the one that got replaced.
Yeah, Sierra Mist got replaced. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, my bad.
All
Hey,
right,
you know
don't
what?
listen to Dreadpool when it comes to soft drinks. He doesn't know anything.
No, it's because I stopped drinking it. But yeah, at least I admit that I screwed up when I screw up.
Yeah, look. I think a better thing would have been like, is Pepsi and Cherry Pepsi and Crystal Pepsi still Pepsi? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, is Arcane Leon still Arcade? Is Arcane Austin still Arcane? Nobody was saying, nobody when Redfall was coming up and people were hyping it, nobody was all like, oh, but be careful, this is Arcane Austin. No, everybody was like, oh no, it's Arcane, they're fantastic. Now it matters.
Yeah.
Now it matters suddenly. Semantics. I'm just saying. And I'm not dogging on the game. I think the game is going to be fantastic because, as I said, they have a lot of superhero experience. So yeah, and I am very excited for it. So let's see. So Jason Max says Blade is coming to the PS5 just like Wolverine is coming to Xbox. Yeah, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Let's see.
No, he's saying, yeah, what he's saying is correct. Think about it. It is going to happen like that.
Yeah. Jesse Darby says they do these polls and they don't show up in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. The polls are only on YouTube chat. So if you're watching through Facebook or Twitter, they don't show up.
Actually, I've had issues also when watching the Iconic Video Games podcast. When you put up your polls, Death Dealers, I showed it to Death Dealer on my phone. It comes up all white.
Interesting.
So it's an issue with the app in YouTube itself. So
because I'm watching it on the computer and it's working just fine
on the computer. I have no issues, but on the phone I have
Your
issues.
mobile app is janky.
So, unfortunately, I think that's what you're talking about, and you could try to refresh. I haven't seen it get fixed. And unfortunately, sometimes when you try to go on the website,
I do the polls directly from YouTube, the website, not through the client that I'm using. So I don't know what it should.
It's on his
get it
phone.
to work.
It's on his phone.
Yeah. He says he's watching on the YouTube through YouTube, actual YouTube, the browser, I guess. Yeah, sorry about that, man. I don't know what to do. There's nothing I can do. Graphic God says, "Good morning, my family. Good morning, Graphic God. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP." Shout out to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man says Xbox did it on purpose to start the drama. Maybe. Oh. He says, is Dr. Pepper available at Taco Bell? Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
And Boogeyman says, Dr. Pepper is owned by RC Cola. I know I work for them. There you go. I don't know how we get off on these topics.
RC Cola, the poor man's cola.
hey! You don't talk about RC
no, it's
Cola
terrible.
like that.
It's terrible.
No way. RC Cola was amazing. I miss RC Cola.
It was exactly.
It's still here.
It was. It tastes like it's terrible.
Still here.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Let's see.
Circus peanuts are still here too, but no one likes them.
Let's see. So Jesse Darby says the reason the trailer is the way it was at the awards is because the FTC and they're in the court right now. All right, let's see. Wow, the chat is on fire. Let's see. All right, here we go. Fly Dudes Entertainment 1. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, currently, the majority of Pepsi and Coke bottlers bottling Dr. Pepper are owned by Pepsi Company and the Coca-Cola Company. All right, so they contract out. Big deal. Yeah, no, I mean, no one company is an island anymore. Everybody works with everybody. Trust me. That's why, like, you know how they say that all the batteries are the same, just a different sticker on them? They mean it.
Join us next. Join us in a couple of days when we start up the new Soda Wars podcast.
Soda Wars podcast. Who put that on there? Where is it?
No, I just made it up just now.
Oh. That's right. Welcome to Soft Heads, the only podcast about soft drinks.
I'm looking forward to the Dr. Pepper episode where we Fight over who is the best. Not Dr. Pepper.
Does Dr. Pepper
Yeah.
taste better when
Not-
it's
not
bottled
Dr.
by
Pepper,
Pepsi
what was I
or when it's
thinking
bottled
of?
by
Root
Coca-Cola?
beer. Yeah, root beer. We're gonna start the next episode will be on who has the best root beer.
Oh my gosh, A&W by far. Let's see. Beast Mode 10 joins us. He says, "Hey Dreadpool, what's going on, Beast Mode 10? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP." Let's see. Doggy Dog says, brings up a very important point. Pepsi has no games. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, they do.
No. He miswrote that. Pepsi has no carbonation.
Oh, the iconic soda water episode. Yeah, that's right. And by the way, Doggy, when you say Pepsi has no games, I distinctly remember a game called Pepsi Man
Yeah.
being released.
Dot. Remember the dot?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. When you say Pepsi Man has no games or Pepsi has no games, oh, in your face, they do. Let's see. All right, sorry guys. Back to Blade. All right, so is it going to be exclusive? First off, are you excited? And is it going to be exclusive? Terry.
All right. So for me, I'm not excited, but that's because I don't care about Blade. I didn't read the comics. I didn't care about the movie that Wesley Snipes was in. It's just I'm not a fan of Blade, so it's not for me. Exclusivity, I doubt it, but possible. Anything's always possible, but I don't think it's exclusive. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about Blade. I've been seeing a lot of I haven't seen anybody excited for Blade. It's just a lot of people going on about how they're not going to do it right because Blade's supposed to be like high action, and they're probably not going to make it action enough.
They're downing Arcane Leon?
Yeah, I mean,
are they confusing
I'm
Arcane
not a
Leon with
fan.
Arcane Austin?
Look, I don't care which studio from Arcane makes it. To me, Arcane as a whole is mid tier. I'm really not a fan of their games, and honestly, most of their games are slow paced. So they might be onto something. Just put that out there.
All right. So Terry is not excited, but she thinks it is going to be an exclusive.
I do not.
No, sorry. You think it's going to be available everywhere?
I think it'll be available everywhere.
Coming to iPhone, guys. Coming to iPhone confirmed.
It probably
You heard
will
it
be
here
on
from Terry.
iPhone.
All right. Dreadpool, are you excited? And two, do you think it's going to be exclusive?
Yes, I'm excited early this morning because I just woke up. But that's
the
not
wrong
why
kind of
I'm
excitement. I'm talking, are you excited for Blade?
Yes, I am excited for Blade. Now, think about this. Okay, is this exclusive or not? Well, Wolverine didn't post any logos saying that it's exclusive to PlayStation.
Oh,
Right?
is that true? Let me look up the trailer. Hold
When
on.
you look
keep
at
going,
the
I'm
trailer,
looking
at
at the
the
trailer.
very end, it just says "Play Greatness." The very end. So that's the only spot. Does it say anything? It ends at 47 seconds, the announcement trailer, and then it has the Xbox logo pops up, says PlayStation. That's it. Doesn't say exclusive, doesn't say anything at all. Play has no limits, PlayStation Family Mark, PlayStation 2021 Sony Interactive.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Insomniac? No, it says PlayStation Studios. Theirs has a logo.
Yeah.
Whereas
And it
Blade
does say in development for PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
Right.
in development.
Doesn't
I
say
think
exclusive.
This is more clear cut than Blade was.
It doesn't say exclusive though, right? What we all know, we
They're
all know what
saying
that
more about it for PlayStation than what.
We all know
It
what that
definitely
means.
doesn't say in development for PlayStation 5, Xbox, PC, anything. It
All
says
right.
in development for PlayStation 5.
Okay. Now, when you look at Blade, now in development, Bethesda, ZeniMax, all rights reserved, right?
Right.
Okay. It doesn't say anything more than that. Do you think you're going to spend that kind of money, even if it's not Call of Duty money, on a single player game from a team that knows how to Dishonored plays, I mean, at least I could see the way that Dishonored plays with Blade being a good mix. So having that as your character, having those type of powers, I could see it working. I just don't see them putting that kind of money, that kind of effort into something that they're not going to have for their own. Especially when we as a community have been asking Xbox to get our own Marvel character. Everybody's been asking for Punisher. Everybody's been asking for this and that. I've been asking for another Deadpool game. I don't know why I'm not getting one, but I need to get my Deadpool fix, and Blade will work too, because whatever. But it all depends on the contract that they wrote to get that, right? Because what happened to MLB?
Well,
MLB was PlayStation made for PlayStation gamers for PlayStation consoles, and now it's on Xbox.
Because the MLB told them to do it. So that's what I'm
MLB
saying.
said exactly. That's what I'm getting
Disney's a big powerhouse. They might want their stuff everywhere because Disney's greedy and they want stuff everywhere.
Depending on what they want, we don't know, because maybe they said, you know what, these games aren't doing so hot right now because Spider-Man got no awards again. But when you look at it, in it falls back to the same thing again with Cliffy B, where he said, I looked at the demographic that they showed me. The demographic shows that more people bought PlayStation consoles, so I went there. MLB is saying there's a whole market out there we're losing. We want you to make it multiplat, otherwise you ain't making it no more. You lose the license, and that's what's going on. So now, again, does Marvel say that with Wolverine? No, the contract's already written. Now, with this current state of Disney, does Disney still say that with Xbox? We don't know. They may be wanting it to get out there, but Indiana Jones is also with Disney. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That's exclusive. Don't you
Has
think
it
that
been
Xbox
confirmed
would rather
exclusive?
spend a little bit more money on the exclusivity to play anywhere that's Xbox? I think so. That's what, again, if you look at it and you piece things together and you start making sense, this is an exclusive. And then on top of that, think about this. Why would you put it on there to say Xbox exclusive? What happened the last time they did that? Oh, wait, Tomb Raider. What happened? They got stormed on stage to find out how long this exclusive is going to be, if it's going to be 100% exclusive forever.
Right.
They got stormed on stage. Granted, they're not live in person, but it's going to be exclusive. But why would you want the bad rap? I even responded to there's a conversation between Post Up and Paris Lily, and I responded to Paris Lily. I agree with you, that it's going to be exclusive, but at the same time, why would you want to put something out there on a positive note and then end it with something that can potentially be, it's going to be negative towards Xbox? So leave it open-ended when the meaning is there. It's exclusive, but you're not confirming it because it's going to take a turnaround, and if you're going to be like, I can't believe you're taking away, you're locking down characters from us that we can't get access to, this and that. So when it comes to that, when you think about it, why would you put it on there? Just, hey, we got Blade, and then be done with it. We're making Blade, here we are, and then you leave it at that. Now when you start putting down those fine little details that people can nitpick, now the whole positivity goes away and all the negativity comes out. Who's the loudest?
The negative people.
The small minority is the loudest.
Yeah, the loud minority. Yep.
They're the loudest. Yep. So this is the situation we're in. This is why we don't know 100%, but we do know. We know it's exclusive. It's going to be exclusive, and they're not going to say it's exclusive other than to Xbox platform. That's it. So you can play it on PC, you can play it on your Xbox, you can play it on cloud, whatever. whatever they want to put it, that's where they're going to put it, and they're not going to put it on Sony or Nintendo. Plain and simple.
Yeah. So a lot of people are commenting on Bethesda. So back, they're saying it's exclusive, and they'll use this quote from Phil Spencer, and I quote, Spencer made clear that the Bethesda acquisition is about delivering great exclusive games, particularly on platforms where Game Pass exists. Right? Now, he never said exclusive to Xbox platforms. He just said exclusive to Game Pass, wherever that is, right? And when Blade comes out, who knows where that's going to be, right? As Xbox is trying to expand their Game Pass footprint at all times. So Blade's coming to GeForce Now. Blade's coming to Oculus Quest. Blade's coming everywhere, right?
Yep.
Everywhere you can play your Xbox Game Pass for those of you who are Ultimate members. So maybe that's why it doesn't have a logo. But is it going to be But, Game Pass is the big exclusive now. Like, I feel more rewarded with Game Pass than I do with console exclusives, if I'm being honest. Because that Ultimate perk is just everywhere that I game. And I game everywhere. And maybe I'm in the small minority of people that can game everywhere and does game everywhere. But I love having those options, right? But Aaron Greenberg tweeted this out, kind of alluding that it's exclusive. It has two big Xbox logos on it. Not Bethesda logos, not Marvel logos, Xbox logos. So that ends it. Now, Special Nick said the insider that it is indeed an Xbox exclusive. The insider has been right about a number of things before and seems to be pretty confident in this, but the fact that not being mentioned may mean there's room for this to change. So this is coming from comicbook.com, and I believe this was on the Xbox Era podcast where he said it. So Special Nick believes that it is exclusive. And this picture right here, to me, kind of is this Aaron Greenberg. As you know, Aaron Greenberg is part of the marketing team. I think that this says a lot to it. As far as it is, and I am very excited for the game. So I think that Blade will be exclusive to Xbox, as Disney will probably want that exclusivity money. Exclusive to get exclusives is millions and millions and millions of dollars. So yeah. Now, all that aside, are they going to pull it off? Are they going to make good on it? Blah blah blah. I'm happy it's third person. First off, I'm really excited. I don't want to play first person Blade. I want to play third person Blade. I want to see the cool poses, the swagger, the coat moving, reaching in and grabbing gadgets from your coat, stuff like that, right? And again, I think Arcane Leon is going to pull it off. Arcane in general can pull it off. So, yeah, I really do feel that this game is going to be exclusive. But a lot of the conversation is revolving around this. Xbox has been very unclear in the communication from the Xbox CFO saying PlayStation and Nintendo, basically alluding that Xbox, giving people worried that Xbox might be, to me, it devalues the console. It devalues the brand when you say stuff like that. And them not being clear about this, they really need to start getting clear on their marketing. Like, it baffles me how they can't get it together. Like, it baffles me.
Well, the problem is you have certain games like Call of Duty that are still going to be going to PlayStation and now going to the Switch. So
yeah, but that's from ABK.
ABK, yeah.
Now remember,
but
as I said, that quote
Bethesda
was that the Bethesda purchase was about getting exclusives for the Game Pass platform.
And Phil even said it is a game by game basis.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So certain games that they have, think about
Minecraft Dungeons.
Well, no,
not exclusive.
I was thinking
but
about
that's not Bethesda.
That's
no,
not
but it's Microsoft.
That's Mojang. That was a contract that Mojang and Microsoft signed, was that anything Minecraft stays multi-plat, and they've honored that, and they see that it works, so they're going to continue honoring that. Was it Wild Hearts? No,
EA's Wild Hearts.
No, that's Ubisoft. I'm thinking of. Bethesda has the thing is, there's going to be a couple smaller games that they're going to put out. Let's just start one of Phil Spencer's favorite games that just didn't do so well as a remake, Voodoo Vince. That
Oh, I
came
love
back,
Voodoo Vince.
right?
Yes.
A game like that from Bethesda. I know it's not from Bethesda, but a game like that from Bethesda would do better going everywhere than just strictly on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Could. Okay, could. I know I said would, but could. They have to look at that potential and say, would Game Pass benefit it, or would it hamper it, and would it be more beneficial for this type of game to be out there? You know, and it doesn't have to be Voodoo Vince. It could be another Uncharted Xbox, you know, whatever. It could be whatever they want. They're going to look at it and figure out, is it best to keep it here? Is it big enough that this will do like numbers like Starfield did, where Starfield was like, no, it's exclusive. It's because it's such a big game, in popularity and the game size itself. Sorry, Judge Chris Judd, it ain't happening for you. Starfield's bigger, longer. When you know what I'm saying. So they have to figure out what's going to be best. It's not everything's going to be exclusive, and they've already said that because they know that sometimes you feed a little out there, right? What happened to Cuphead? They let them go to Nintendo.
Everywhere.
So it is what it is. I just don't see it with Blade. But anything can change. Anything can change. Let's just say Blade doesn't come out because they just can't get their act together and they screw it up, and it's better off just to shelve it, right? Not saying it's going to happen, but what if? So Sheepish Nick can say whatever he wants. It's all the same stuff. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, we know it's exclusive. Anything can happen that can make it change. I just brought up MLB before, right? It was always on PlayStation. It was always going to be the best game ever for baseball. And ABK said, no, make it multiplat. Or why do I keep saying that? MLB said, make it multiplat or you don't make it at all.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Things will change, and things can change during the contract. If you're not hitting the right numbers, if certain things happen a certain way, they can come back and say, you know what, we're not feeling this. We need to renegotiate this contract. We think that we need more money because of this, and we want it to go elsewhere, not just here. So there's so many different variables. A contract that just because a contract's written, you have to go to court to like alter it. But if both parties are in agreement, then it can be altered at any time.
Yeah. Let's check in with our chat real quick. Splinter says, Bethesda is not making games for PlayStations. What the heck is wrong with you people? Was Phil not clear? No, he wasn't. Just being honest here. No, Xbox has been anything but clear. Jesse Darby says, I'm pretty sure it's exclusive. It's an Xbox studio, and they probably dropped a big enough bag of money to Disney to make it exclusive. I certainly hope you are correct.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gogo Paul, I think Arcane is a great studio, but they should know the expectations are going to be very high. Yeah.
Leon or Arcane? Or Austin?
Cool. Jason Max says, Cool Cat, you are wrong. Matt Booty is in charge of Bethesda now. No way he gives Sony Blade. Oh, that is true. That's
true.
You can't say I'm wrong when none of us knows if it is or isn't. We're all just.
He also said, let's buy him out of business.
That's right. I hope
spend the money.
I
spend them out of business.
But until they officially say it's exclusive, we don't know. We do not know. We are making assumptions. That is it. Nobody is right or wrong until they officially say what it is.
Even your cat's winking at us right now.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. We're all just making assumptions. It makes sense for it to be exclusive, but it's possible that it isn't.
Yeah. Let's see. Gogo Pulse says, I'm tired of Xbox not having exclusives. They need to shut down PlayStation and be serious about selling the console over PlayStation.
I don't want them to shut down.
Do you think they need to shut down their PlayStation partnerships? But yeah, I agree. Xbox definitely needs way more exclusives, big time exclusives. And they need to understand that. I think, would I be super happy if every game was available everywhere and I could just buy one console and play everything? Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as I get to use a controller that is like this one. Because every other controller is kind of subpar. Just saying. So, but that's not the world we live in. And in the world we live in, exclusive sell consoles. No matter what anybody thinks, they are console sellers. Get the right exclusives, people will buy your console. Right? Let's see. The King. Shout out to the King. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, Dreadpool always rocks. Yeah. And yeah, I agree with Split Difference. Every time an Xbox gets a great freaking game, the other side starts to BS. It might come to PlayStation. Yeah, not just the other side, but the media too. And that's because Xbox is unclear. Going back to, was Phil Spencer not clear? And the truth is, no, he wasn't. Okay, I brought up the quote. Dreadpool brought up a great counterpoint. He said it would be a game-by-game basis. So the truth is, no. It's it's as clear as mud. Yeah. Gogo Pole says, like Disney can dictate when Microsoft, the 20 times bigger company, wants. We shall see. See, that's insane. Not up to Disney. It's up to Microsoft suits. It's their IP. Disney can do whatever they want with it. And if Disney wants it to be everywhere, then it will be everywhere. Just throwing it out there. Yeah. Doggy Dog says it will be exclusive. Jason Max says, I will bet anyone their house that Blade is not coming to PS5. Microsoft would not sign a contract that forces them to make a PS5 port.
See, he's so confident he'll bet their house, not his house.
Yeah, not his house. What about your house, Jason Max? Let's see. It's only the hardcore that care about exclusives. The casuals run the market, but they are easily influenced by marketing. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And if you're not marketing exclusivity, the casuals will not flock to your console. It's the same. It's the same coin, just different sides. Exclusive sell consoles, and if you market exclusive to the masses, they'll go. Like even games that aren't exclusive because another company has the marketing rights. People think it's only on that console. Just that's the way casuals think. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Aaron Greenberg's profile pic is all we needed. Split Difference says companies don't want to be associated with Sony right now because of all the legal ramifications they're facing for bad competitive practices. They don't want to fool with Sony. They've been exposed. I mean, Sony's. Yeah, let's be honest here. All they're going to get is a slap on the wrist. They always do.
And this contract's long before all this happened with legalities coming out to public.
Yeah. Microsoft can't play with fire. There's too much if they lose to Sony with the amount they're spending. They have to take the market share. Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely have to take that market share. Phil's vision has to come true. Yeah. Let's see. And they're willing to lose it. Starfield proves they don't need PlayStation. Starfield hit 12 million players without PlayStation. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Grogo Pulse says Microsoft isn't done with big name exclusives. They want Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and more. They're not done. I think Lord of the Rings is now exclusively to Amazon games at this point. It's a very long-term contract. It might be in perpetuity, actually. Yeah, and this is the problem here, Jason Max. Absolutely. This is the problem with the mixed messaging. Why do people think Sony can get Marvel games exclusive when Microsoft can't? Exactly. And it's because they didn't say it was. And nobody has come out and say it is. Until Microsoft comes out and clears the air, all this hoopla is going to keep going on.
See,
this was an announcement.
For me, I don't think that. For me,
it's a pretty dang big announcement. Blade's a huge IP.
I mean, for me, I don't think that Sony can have Marvel and Microsoft can't, for exclusivity. I think it's because the way Microsoft brands that they want their games everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that it won't be exclusive because they want their stuff everywhere. Yes, they need exclusive. Yes, there's a good chance they'll make it exclusive, but it doesn't change the fact that their whole business motto is play everywhere. So it makes you think that there's going to be some major games that they might not make exclusive.
It's play everywhere or anywhere as long as you're on the Xbox ecosystem.
Yeah, which I love.
They keep trying, their work keep expanding. So, but it's still, it doesn't. To me, when it comes to Microsoft, there's always a chance that it's not going to be exclusive because it's Microsoft and they don't like exclusivity.
Yeah.
They do not like it. They do it because they have to. They don't want to. There's a difference. They do it because PlayStation wants to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Microsoft doesn't want to.
They did that with Starfield.
Yeah, but I think it's because it was time to get
because they needed to. They didn't want to do it. They needed to do it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Terri
PlayStation has them in a corner. PlayStation has them in a corner. So now they have to, do things they don't want to do to try to get some ground. But they don't want exclusives.
What they do, yeah, they don't want exclusives, but because they want to be everywhere, but they want to be everywhere where I'm at. See the difference? Just like Windows versus Linux. You're everywhere where I'm at. So if you want to play something on Windows or if you want to use Excel, you have to play where I'm at. And I'm on Windows. I am Windows. I'm on this computer. I'm in this office. I'm in this laptop. This is where I'm at. And you have to go out of your way to not do that. Oh, wait. Remember that lawsuit that they had for, what was it, Explorer? Because it was bundled in.
Standard.
It was loaded in. And play where I'm at. You want to go on the internet? This is where I'm at. I'm on the Windows. You got to get Windows so you can get online. So I think that's kind of how they look at it, as be everywhere. Not I want to just throw it out there where everybody can play anywhere they can play. They have to play anywhere where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere that the Xbox platform is at, that's where you can play. That's why it won't, nothing will ever go to Sony ever.
I hope not.
And at the same time, certain things could go to Sony for like certain games, Call of Duty being one of them that are going to stay there.
They said under oath that it was, so they can't go against it.
Yeah, for the next 10 years.
They said as long as PlayStation exists.
But I don't foresee them. If you just want to look at Activision, I mean, I know they were forced to make Call of Duty everywhere, but the same token, I don't foresee them making, Overwatch exclusive. I don't foresee them making, what's that card game they have? Whatever that stupid card game is that they have. Like
Trackmania?
Crash Kart?
No, card. That stupid card game.
Card.
That battle card game that they have that people like. I don't play it. I don't foresee them being like, you know what, we're gonna put this on Xbox and make it exclusive. No.
But and that's the thing though. They even said certain games and the longevity for Call of Duty, Overwatch. And Overwatch is actually dwindling, but the longevity for those games, you can't pull them away from being already out there to everybody. You can't pull that away because you will definitely gain. Oh, wait, what did Destiny do? Oh, they got some bad press because they pulled away their expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what's going to happen. They know that that'll happen. There would never be enough of a player base with as much as they have them now to pull it away. New games could stay on the Xbox platform and not have to go completely out there. But some of these games require more players to keep going. They would never pull WoW away from anywhere but PC and then just include Xbox. So they're bringing it back into the ecosystem to be everywhere that you can play Xbox, but they're not gonna pull it away from anywhere else. Like, oh well, you have a Lenovo PC. We're not gonna let you play on Lenovo. That doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
So I think we're all on the same page, but different paragraphs.
Yeah, I just to me, Blade is going to be exclusive. I don't think it's going to come anywhere other than Xbox ecosystem. And I'm using that word ecosystem on purpose because you're going to need to be if you're not on an Xbox console, you're going to need to be an Xbox subscriber to get this. I think the only outside of Xbox ecosystem is going to come to is Steam.
Yeah.
Personally. But that's just because Steam and Microsoft Store are basically the same thing.
Wait, with Steam, you still need a Windows operating system, huh? So you're still back on Microsoft. Go figure.
You do, yeah. Let's see. They still need exclusives because they still got to appeal their console base. They don't want to lose that base. Yeah, I agree. They really do need to. So yeah, I think this is, as Google Poll puts it, it's a perception war. Yes, and that is exactly what it is. Until they come out and flat say it, people are going to ask questions. But as someone else also pointed out that where is it? That Google Poll brought it out again. They said Starfield was exclusive, and people still assumed there was a chance of it coming to PlayStation later. Yeah,
those people are just crazy. Like if they officially say it's something, that's my whole
Xbox.
That's my whole deal. Xbox hasn't said anything. They're flying under the radar right now. Until they officially say one way or the other, it's anything at this point. Until they say what it is.
Well,
and if it ends up being exclusive, great. I'm still not going to play it because it's Blade, but I mean, it's still, it still helps Xbox as a whole if it's exclusive.
I think Xbox just needs to release a couple of games that are literally exclusive with these new acquisitions that they're having. Because that's the question. A lot of these publishers that they acquired have multi-plat properties, and I think until those properties like Doom Next, because I heard Doom Year Zero was canceled, but Doom Next, until it gets announced as Xbox exclusive, people will always have these questions.
They will, but the big thing for
I think
me,
it'll take a long time for those questions to go away until they realize that, hey, these are exclusive.
But, you guys keep going on about how they need to appease their base. I'm part of their base. All of my friends I play with are part of their base. We don't like a single exclusive. We don't. We don't care about Halo. We don't care about Blade. We don't care about Forza. We don't give a darn about their exclusives except for Gears of War, and even that's kind of fell off the wagon for us. So, they're not appealing to us at all.
You guys are soft.
They're not making games that I care about.
The problem is there's so many different types of people.
Because Xbox wants to be able to have games for pretty much everyone. So they're covering a lot of different genres and stuff, which is fantastic. They're not the master of one, they're a master of many, or they can't be a master of many, or however that saying goes. They're all over the place. So
they're not a master. They're master of none.
Yeah, master
Jack
of none.
Jack
of all trades. So
master of none. Yep.
So as of right now, I feel like that's why I'm a third-party gamer, and I prefer to play on Xbox. But I don't buy Xbox for their exclusives. They don't have a single one that I care about. PlayStation also doesn't have a single exclusive I care about. So exclusives do not matter to me. I don't play that stuff. So they're not winning me over exclusives until they start getting games that I care about. I couldn't care less about their exclusives. They're not winning me over for that.
All right, I think we've talked this topic to death for now. Let's move it right along back to the Game Awards topic. We are still on the Game Awards topic. God, we got heated fast. We went from soda to heated. Everybody, take a drink. Take a soft drink. Are there any awards you guys want to talk about on this? If you cared about any of the winners, because if not, we're going to move right to the trailers.
Yeah, let's talk about that coach. No, I don't care.
Anybody care about anything?
No.
No.
I mean, I'm a little miffed about the indie one, the best indie game, because like the one that won's a great one. I'm not trying to
Cocoon?
discredit.
You didn't like Cocoon?
No, I'm talking about Sea of Stars. They won the best indie game. But
I
but like I mentioned in the beginning, there are way better indie games that were out that didn't get nominated at all. Like Cocoon. I mean, Cocoon's terrible in comparison to War Tales, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So like, come on, and like and Dredge and all them, like those are your stereotypical indies that people want to, they look and breathe indie. You know what I mean?
Wasn't Dredge the one that was a AAA studio that they called an indie studio?
Something
Yeah.
like it's like
You are correct, Dreadpool.
So
it doesn't make sense. Like the category doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't when you include Dredge like that. No.
Yeah.
And that's the
Dredge.
funny thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Dredge should not have been nominated.
It should not have been even in that category.
Yeah.
Because you look indie doesn't mean you're indie. I mean,
exactly. I mean, because look at the one I brought up, that Valiant Hearts, that looks indie. It's a Ubisoft game. That's why I never brought it up for my indie spotlight.
Oh, because they made it in the art style of an indie.
It looks like an indie, but it's a Ubisoft game. It's not an indie. That's why. That's why what Ash was like, how come you never put this in the spotlight? Because it's not an indie. It's not an indie. So it's just no. There's way better indie games. It's one of the thing I hate about whenever they do the indie categories is they only focus on ones that kind of got a little bit more marketing, and like pretty much I think almost all of these were on Game Pass. Probably why the only reason why people didn't even know about them.
Hey, I love my
See,
Game
that's kind of the thing though. A lot of these games when it comes to the votes are because of not just the fact that they played them, how well the advertising to those people are that are voting.
Yeah.
So
Sea of Stars didn't really do any advertising. It ended up
not to us.
They
to
ended
them.
up on Game Pass, and that advertised for them, which helped them greatly.
Word of mouth.
But like, because I've been following Sea of Stars, and like, they haven't really done anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's check in with the chat
industry.
real quick. Terry, we had a poll about Blade before we get too far away from Blade.
Okay.
Can you
Back to
read
Blade. Will it be exclusive? 89% said yes, buy an Xbox. 5% said no, and 5% says it'll be timed.
Oh, there you go. So some of that is there. Yeah, the indie game was kind of weird. If you ask me. But I think Sea of Stars was probably the most deserving.
Sea of Stars,
out of the
ones
nominees,
there,
I feel that Sea of Stars was
definitely.
the most deserving.
Sea of Stars was a great game. It's a great game, but it's just one of those things where you have one great game against a bunch of games that, I mean, they're good indie games, but they're all mid-tier games. There's way better indies to choose from, and none of them are even on there. If this is supposed to be an award for the most outstanding creative and technical achievement, why are none of them there? They're not there.
Yeah. It's a tough topic in my opinion. Like there's so many games that deserve to be nominated and they just get ignored. Unfortunately, that's what happened. But Xbox did end up taking 3 awards. They of course took Best Sports and Racing Game with Forza Motorsport. So I think that was kind of a give me. They win every time they're there. Oh, let's see. Forza also took something to do with accessibility. Where'd it go? Innovation and accessibility. They took that one. And Xbox also took the best music and score, I believe. No. Sorry, not music. Audio direction, I think it was. Audio design? Was it? Yeah, there we go. They took best audio design with Hi-Fi Rush. So Xbox ended up taking 3 awards compared to others. They did really well. So somebody, I'm trying to find here we go. Here's the tweet I wanted. So, wow. Okay. Let me go back to this. Let me move this to a bigger screen. So Kami on Twitter posted that the biggest winners at the Game Awards, Baldur's Gate 3 took 6 wins. Alan Wake 2 took 3 wins, and Forza Motorsport took 2 wins. So other than the big sweep by Baldur's Gate, everybody else was kind of like a one and done kind of thing. These were the only multi-win games. But publishers, you notice here that there's a certain first-party publisher that's not on here. Nintendo's on here. Shout out to Nintendo. Killing it, as always. Xbox Game Studios is here. Shout out to Xbox. Killing it, as always. But the media darling isn't here.
Because they didn't have a remake section.
It didn't have a remake section. And Resident Evil would have won that one anyway. Oh, that's right. I said it. I said it.
I don't know. That storyline was short too.
Yeah. So, is the media finally starting to recognize the incredible work that Xbox has been doing for the last decade, ever since they decided to hate on them in 2013? Do you think we're finally coming over that hump? Because, there was a big old Xbox tax conversation a long time ago. And not a long time ago, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And so people are saying now, now that they won all these awards, does that mean that, and Sony didn't win any, does that mean that there's a PlayStation tax? And I'm still sticking with no. Because until they even get nominated for Game of the Year, I think the Xbox tax is real. Because I went back and I looked at the last 10 years of Game of the Year nominees. The highest rated game had always been nominated for Game of the Year, except when, guess who had it? Guess who? Except when it was an Xbox game. Suddenly it didn't get nominated for Game of the Year. So, yeah. So yeah, I just don't feel that I feel that the Xbox tax is real. We'll see. I feel that I know how Terri feels about it, but I think Starfield was definitely should have been nominated.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Sir X-Man says, I repeat, by the time Blade 2 comes out, Switch 2 will be out and it will not be on PlayStation. Microsoft and Nintendo are cool with each other. Yeah, Microsoft is very cool with Nintendo. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see. So Xbox turned out to be a pretty good winner as a publisher, not as big as Larian Studios. So those are the winners and the nominees. What do you think about this overall? Like, just in general, there's no real topic on this, just an overall thought on this tweet from Kami. From Okami13. I almost said 23. Okami13.
I mean, I think it's good. I don't have anything against it. There were some categories, like I said, that they didn't make sense with what they had in there. But when it comes to like the big ones that people care the most about, I feel like they had really good quality games that were competing against each other. So I think it's all justified for what people got for awards for the most part. It was probably the least biased Game Awards show we've seen in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with the results, and Baldur's Gate, is an indie that is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first time that an action RPG, a top-down action RPG, has ever been nominated for Game of the Year, because those games get overlooked, you know? So, you know, I don't know, maybe Diablo. I don't know if Diablo is probably the only one that might have been nominated at some point. I don't think I'm pretty confident it never won, but it probably the only one that would have got nominated if anyone ever has in the past. So for it to get nominated and win, that is history in the making right there for that genre, because it's never been done. You know, it's always third person
narrative
games that win. You know,
quick time.
It's your Legend of Zeldas. It's your, you know, your God of Wars that win Game of the Year. It's never like a turn-based strategy game. You know what I mean? Like, it's unheard of. So I'm amazed that it happened. I'm proud that it happened, because that is literally history in the making right there. And I love it. I'm here for it. I want to see more games like that get noticed, because there's some amazing ones out there. And this is now creating that opening. You know, Larian has paved the way now to help that genre finally get the recognition it deserves, because there are so many amazing action RPGs out there. I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago, my Game of the Year was Disciples, which was a top-down action RPG, and it didn't get a single nomination. And that game was probably one of the best games out of all the ones that got nominated that year that I played. And so, yeah, this is amazing. I'm proud of them, you know. And, you know, Alan Wake, I haven't played it, but I've heard good things for people that are into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I played the first Alan Wake, and I loved it.
Wake?
I haven't played the second one. I played the first one, not the second one.
Okay.
So I can't say anything about Alan Wake 2. I haven't played it. But I've heard good things, you know. I've heard good things about it. And, you know, I was actually surprised I had forgotten that Resident Evil came out for this year. For some reason, that remake feels like it's 2 years old already. I don't know why. It just feels like it's been out for freaking ever. And I didn't understand why it was there. But that's me. It just feels like it's been out for a really long time.
Which one? Resident Evil?
Yeah, because Resident Evil they won Resident Evil 4. That one won for best like sound, I think. And then they got nominated for Game of the Year. But like, for me, Resident Evil really does feel like it came out like 2 years ago. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm in some kind of time lapse for that game.
I see. Okay. Dreadpool, general thoughts on the winners.
General thoughts on the winners. Well, you know, I'm seeing a trend here, but it's not. This is on the BAFTA Game Awards.
What?
Deus Ex, however you say that one, action role playing in 2000. Mass Effect. Where's the other one? Fallout.
Are you not looking at these Game Awards? Are you looking at a different Game
I'm
Awards?
I'm looking at history. So this, I don't see this as big of a deal as Terri is seeing it, because other games have won. Maybe not in this award ceremony, but in the past.
I'm talking about for the Game Awards, because that's the main one that people care about. They are like the Oscars of Game Awards. No one watches any of the indie Game Awards. You know, like there's a lot of indie Game Awards. None of you have probably watched a single one of them. Okay, so like they don't matter.
Yeah, well, I'm talking. Yeah, okay.
Who watched BAFTA? Anybody here watch BAFTA? No.
I'm just bringing.
They don't matter.
I'm bringing up 1 point though. I'm bringing up 1 point. I'm not saying that this is the only point. Deus Ex. Thank you, Dan. I couldn't remember how to say it, and I'm trying to read it. But the thing is, it's I don't. For Baldur's Gate getting it, I don't see it as big of a deal. For it didn't. To me, it didn't break a mold. It's just something that's out there. And these video game awards have always been very shady when it comes to who wins and who's nominated and when they're nominated. There's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to all this. So that's why I'm not trying to downplay what you're saying, but I don't 100% agree that it's groundbreaking that they finally won, and it's not the first person shooter, or not first person, third person over the storyline. When it comes to this stuff, there's a lot of stuff that I do agree with you on, that certain games shouldn't been in those nominations. They didn't belong there. They didn't fit correctly. You know what I mean? Again, when you bring up a racing game, why is a racing game never ever anywhere but in simulation? Now we finally seen Forza move on to the sound design, but you never see it anywhere else. Game of the year, people loved it, but it's not one of those things. Again, so it's when you're in a niche of a play style that you like, you see as your game as this is always getting pushed out, or this is always getting put in because of this type. But when the masses are the ones that are telling you, and you're part of the masses, and it's pushing it this way, then yeah, some of these games are phenomenal to the masses. But again, Cool Cat Terri is not a fan of Halo. She's not a fan of a game like that. So when a lot of us are clamoring that Halo was the best game for this and best game for that, she's on the opposite side saying, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of this. So it's our point of views, and that's why a lot of these are popularity choices. Who's got the biggest press right now? Mario Wonder was a freaking fantastic game. Does it compare to Resident Evil 4? It's a totally different game. You know what I'm saying? Resident Evil 4 was good, but was it really that good? Tears of the Kingdom was great. Alan Wake 2 was great. Are they comparable? No. But again, it's game of the year versus the different categories that breaks them down. And when you break some of those down, that's where you see the discrepancy in where they fit in. Here, this is the overall, and you would expect something like, one of the bigger names to be up here. And seeing some of the bigger names not be up here as a contender, it's why are we playing all these rehashes? Why are we playing all this? Well, Alan Wake's not a rehash. It's a totally new style of a game. Spider-Man 2, is it totally new? No. It's the same thing. They just updated it. Baldur's Gate is pushed out by bigger a studio as small as Lorien, right? It's been pushed out by bigger companies and in the media. So, and it's hard to say, but yes, the reviewers are the ones that are doing it, not voted by developers. But there's always going to be stuff that will never sit right with anybody. But when this is hard to even break down, you know what I mean? So when it comes to all this, I think it's your personal opinion on when it comes to that, and enough opinions will dedicate or dictate if a game is good or not, and that's part of the thing. A lot of these games aren't really groundbreaking for anything. Winning isn't groundbreaking because a lot of these games could have made the game, made it to win. So when it comes to that, I sometimes the negative press is good press, right? We were just all about Blade with no press. All it was a teaser, and it didn't say anything because it wasn't enough. So we talked about it for how long? Almost an hour?
Too long.
Yeah, too long.
Too long.
and here I am bringing it back up again as an example.
Again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, because a lot of times this should be honoring games, and a lot of times it feels like it's pushing down some other games versus honoring games as a whole. So it's hard. I don't know.
I like the Game Awards. I understand what Jeff is trying to do, and it's very hard to do.
Right.
To respect everybody and do it.
It's not an easy thing.
And the BAFTAs are voted on by developers. It's really your peers. So the BAFTAs mean a lot to these developers, because that's when other developers are saying you're good, right? This is more like the Critics' Choice Awards, because it's voted on by media outlets, the critics, if you will. My problem with some of the critics that are being chosen is that they are so biased to
They are
a certain style or a certain console, that anything other than that will never be even in a category. Right? I feel that the categories are wrong. Remakes should definitely have their own category and get out of Game of the Year. I'm sorry.
Yes, I agree.
As good as Resident Evil 2 remake, as good as Resident Evil 4 remake, all that stuff is, that's an already existing story with an existing thing. All they did was update the graphics and the combat, and they did a fantastic job. And I think there definitely should be best remake / remaster category and get them out of Game of the Year. Now, I know Jeff wants to keep Game of the Year open to everything. He says any game at any time from anybody can be nominated for Game of the Year. So no matter what, we're going to keep seeing these remakes in Game of the Year. But I really do feel that remakes need their own category.
Get nominated. But
yeah. Now, best ongoing game, I have a problem with this, because to me, this is more like best games as a service. And I don't want... I love that DLC is fantastic. Story DLC and Story DLC 1 here. 3 of these games are not DLC. They're games as a service. 2 of these are DLC. So I'm kind of glad that it won. But, we could separate it. Best games as a service, best ongoing game as a service, best DLC. Something to that effect, right? Best sim strategy, best sports racing. The one that I think is missing is, instead of saying best debut indie game, they need to have a best new IP. Because as ADM pointed out here, shout out to ADM, thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Says only new great IPs were P and Starfield. These are just sequels and remasters. Yeah, I think best new IP needs a category, because the Game of the Year is all sequels. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario 28, Tears, Legend of Zelda 28. I mean, it's they're all established IPs and big, and I think these games are fantastic. I am not taking anything away from them, but how often are we as fans crying for, we need new IPs, we need new IPs, we need new IPs, and bring back this dead IP, bring back that dead IP. Like, we are greedy gamers, and I think the Game Awards can just do a better job of a full representation by categorizing some of the ignored categories and get rid of some of the ones that nobody cares about. Like, I don't even know which one. Like, I've never understood Games for Impact. I'm just going to be honest. I don't understand this category. I have tried my hardest to understand it. I just don't.
That's because of, honestly, my personal opinion is that's there now because of the political setting we're in, and everybody wants to, have more diversity in everything, and that's there.
Yeah, and this best community support category, what the hell is that? Who has the best customer service? I mean, is that what that is? Best customer service? I have no idea what that is.
I mean, is that where we go into Forge and make, the add-ons to Halo? Is that something that, we do mods for Fallout? What is it? I mean, that's, to me, that's what I'm looking at. The community is making stuff to the game.
See,
You know-
recognize a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. So, Baldur's Gate 3, a game that was 3 years in beta, won. 3 years in early access, won. And I mean, they listened. I think they did great. But yeah,
I don't know. I
The
think
same
all
I
thing
just
happened
feel
with
like
Fortnite.
that category needs to go
Fortnite
away.
won, and they were still in beta.
Yeah, I think that category just needs to go away.
Yeah,
Let's check in with the chat because the chat has a lot to say. Let's see. So Surxman has a problem with Cyberpunk's 2077 winning best ongoing game. Yeah, I covered that. I agree with you, Surxman. Let's see. I only watch the VGAs for the commercials. I don't care who wins. Shout out to Lost Boomer for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let's see. I truly don't think they matter that much after a few months. Almost all the games I talked to can't even remember who won before Elden Ring. Yeah, but it gives you a whole year of bragging rights, you know. I talked a lot about it. I don't even know how many months I talked about Elden Ring for a year straight, so
You
I
did.
loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, you also played a lot of Wukong.
Yeah, a lot of Wukong. Wulong.
Wulong.
Yes. Let's see. Game of the year is like the Oscars. It's kind of wrong in my opinion because games are games, interactive, and in some ways not art, but things we do. It's more about how we are engaged, etc. It's a popularity contest. Nobody denies that. Yeah, nobody denies that. Let's see. Yes, a remake category is good. Should have a console devoted to that, like PS5. Remake Station 5. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
good lord.
Coco, I see what you did there.
You mean
Godman, joins us. Shout out to Godman. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And then let's see. Graphic God says, can we just be honest? Popularity is a symptom of easy influence individuals, and influence can come from marketing, peers, and most of all, money. Who doesn't like money? Except Terry. Terry's not influenced by any of these AAA games. They're all trash.
I'm not saying they're trash. They're just not for me. There's a difference. I'm not okay. There's a lot of gamers that will say a game is trash and never play it. Okay, like how do you even know? You know what I mean? How do you even
Do
know?
you like Halo? Because that game's not trash.
I played Halo and I don't like it. I'm not saying it's trash. I'm just saying I don't
that
like
sounds
it.
like trash. Talk to me.
There's a difference.
What you got to do is you got to lead the person into a scenario that happened in the game, and then when they agree with you on how trashy it is, you let them know, oh, that was never in the game. I just made that up. So it proves you didn't play it. Familiar?
You want me to well, who did that to somebody that played
That was what's his face from God of War.
Yeah, from God of War.
The
His
God
name is
of War
also
creator.
Jeff, and he was talking about Starfield, about
Yes.
burning bodies. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy
let's see. Oops,
talking about
sorry. Here we
how
go.
horrible it was.
Yeah.
Never played it.
Sir X-Men says It Takes Two was the only new IP to ever win anything. No, that's not true. Overwatch won, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice won.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the only two new. Those are the only IPs. So 3 new IPs have won. Deservedly so. They were fantastic. But you know, I really think that there are a lot of new IPs out there that need recognition. That's all I'm saying. You know, whether they're nominated for Game of the Year or not, or whether they win or not, that's not. And Elden Ring won, but you know,
Yeah.
Elden Ring is basically Dark Souls open world, so new IPs have won. So maybe we don't need a new IP category.
They tend to
Maybe.
get nominated more in all the other categories. They might not necessarily get put in Game of the Year, but usually all of the other categories usually have new IPs in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gogo Pulse says we've been corporatized. Is that even a word? We've been corporatized when the gamers talks in IP and franchise lingo. Business talk. Oh shoot! I just unplugged myself. Hold on a second, guys.
We can still hear you though.
Yeah, I just
Whatever
can't hear
you're doing.
anything,
Yeah, okay.
including my own feedback. Let's see. Gogo Pulse says, yeah, best developer with human resources. Yeah, I think that's a dumb category. They need to get rid of it. Yeah. Hi, Starfield needed a Daft Punk show because Starborns look like him. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that would be epic. Could you imagine watching a concert in Starfield? Google Poll says Sekiro won Game of the Year. It sure did. It won in 2019. So From Software has 2 Game of the Year, Sekiro and Elden Ring. So yes, absolutely. Shout out to Happy Cloud Gamer. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, hey y'all, as a Bethesda fanboy, Starfield is not Game of the Year. I would put Hogwarts to Game of the Year list. It should just be about the games and not about the opinions. Opinions. I'm going to say opinions, etc. Unfortunately, because this is the critics' choice, it is all opinion. Yeah.
Well, even then, even as a reviewer, keeping your honest opinion out of the review is hard to do because you're breaking down gameplay, you're breaking down mechanics. That's your opinion.
But when you see a game that has a rough launch and has a lot of technical issues, those games should not be qualified for Game of the Year.
So then why did then
they still are,
And then wait, Baldur's Gate 3 was one of those. Oh wait, how about Stadia? All those Stadia fans that bought into Baldur's Gate 3 and got screwed out of it because
they got refunds, I heard.
Yeah, we all did.
we all did. Are you a Stadia? Are you a Stadia?
I am a Stadia stan.
A stand? That's what sorry, a Stadia stand. Wow, Dread. I didn't know you made bets on losing.
No, I made bets on getting my name out there before somebody else claimed it.
Oh, Stadia stand.
Then I got my money back. So it's like, hey,
well, what are you gonna? Hold on. If Stadia was still a thing, would you be like, I am your resident guest and Stadia stand Dreadpool?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Like I'm saying, like games aren't perfect. All games have bugs, but
Yes.
there should be like a limit to like how buggy are we going to allow it before it's too buggy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Baldur's Gate 3. They were out there, then they brought it back in, and then when they finally released it to the public after they pulled out of Stadia and Stadia shut down,
early access beta bug
Yeah.
fixing.
Yep.
Yep.
So they had all that time to fix it, which I
mean,
know
it's
that's
great.
part of the negativity that a lot of the other studios had because this isn't the way it should be. No, it's the way it should be. You release a game damn near perfect, and then you get to stage or was it chapter 3, then you had some issues. But up until then, nobody knew that there was any issues. Everything was perfect.
Right.
And
Right.
we want those games, doesn't matter which game it is, to come out as perfect as they can be. Yes, Survivor should have been delayed. That's a good game that should have been delayed.
Yeah, Survivor
As
should
a
have been
buggy
in the
mess as
category
that
for Game of
was.
the Year. I've heard great things. Yeah. Happy Cloud Gamer says, yes, I had Baldur's Gate on Stadia for Google Stadia controllers. I will say I love Stadia controllers.
I actually would love Stadia controllers because they're in the style that he likes.
Oh, are they
Yes.
Are they offset?
Yes.
Yes, best controllers ever. All right, so let's move on. So that's what we think about the Game Awards. Congratulations to all the winners. If we were Jeff, that's how we would change it. But yeah, but the main attraction of the Game Awards to people like us are the trailers. Terry, was there a trailer that caught your eye?
Yes, there was the one Exodus.
Yeah, hold on, let me find it. Hold on. Exodus?
Exodus.
So this. World premiere. All right, hold on. Let me see here.
You should be
Loading
all
an
over
ad.
it.
Hold on, you're gonna have to wait, Terry.
You should be all over it. It's sci-fi.
This one is so. Hold on, it's playing sound. Sorry, there we go. Let's talk about it. Terry, what do you like about Exodus?
Dude, it looks better than Starfield.
What? I'll take that back right now.
Oh man, this is okay. No, I just okay.
You're making me wanna you Terry.
This is what Starfield should have been. No.
Linear
Oh man, no. So it's like I don't know. Like I don't. It's kind of like all over the place. This is like Mass Effect, like on crack. You know, like I don't know what. I don't really know.
Interstellar.
So, like, you know, so I want to see what it is. We don't really know what it is. This is all. I think this is probably all cinematic. So I want to see what actual gameplay looks like. This might be actual gameplay. I don't know. You know, but like, and like that ship design kind of it reminds me of what was that, StarCraft? So like
The ship design actually reminds me of Battlestar Galactica.
does it?
Yeah, the
Like-
siphon. That's what they call the cipher. What do they call? Cylons. There we go.
Cylons,
The
yeah,
Cy-
Cylons.
The Cylon ship designs. Yeah,
I mean, it's been years and years since I watched Galactica.
yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something. I think one of the things that really got me for this is when they did this reveal. Like they managed to make it an emotional thing in just the trailer. Like you already, like the trailer itself made you, like this scene right here where he actually finds out what she said. Like you had emotional impact in a trailer for a game you've never even played. Like that's amazing. You know what I mean? You already had like that kind of like connection in like within like a minute. So if they can get you emotionally invested in a minute, imagine what they can do in like 30 plus hours of gameplay. You know? So like I'm excited. I want to find out what they do with it, and hopefully it ends up being really good.
So there you go. Exodus. And here's the actual gameplay.
You know, and it looks a little bit kind of like it's weird. So it's like Mass Effect and Dead Space, kind of like when you look at like the animation of how like the guy in the suit moves and kind of goes around.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
you
it's
get
kinda
powers.
like-
You get powers.
Yeah, so it's like Mass Effect and Dead Space. It's weird. It's like this weird, trippy, like little thing that's going on here, and I just want to see where it goes.
All right, Exodus. There you go. Terry likes Exodus. I think Terry's blasphemous. First off,
It's the Starfield killer. No, I'm kidding.
it's the Starfield killer. Let me tell you something. This would fit in one solar system in Starfield. Okay. I think it looked great, but
At least it has
I
aliens.
need to see more. I'm sorry, I need to see more. And I love sci-fi. I love my sci-fi. But yeah, we need to see. I need to see more. Nothing's wrong with CGI trailers off of already established IPs, because I know what that IP plays like. But I feel like if you're showing me anything other than gameplay on new reveals, it leaves too many questions.
Look,
And
that
as far as this
ship.
guy's emotions, you know what? She's not my wife. I didn't feel nothing for her. Or him.
Dude, the ship
I'm just-
design, though. You know what? At least the ship design looks cool. It doesn't look like, you know, a salvage yard junk pile like you could get in a Starfield. Okay?
Just tell me you didn't clean your ship, Terry.
What?
Just tell me you live a messy life in your ship.
No, I sold everything in my ship because it's all worthless. But like, but no, the ships in Starfield look like booty cheeks. Okay, I'm sorry. It's
Booty
this
cheeks.
freaking, you're flying around in it's like literally everybody's got like this salvage yard of junk, and then you have a couple factions that have some cool ships, but you can't have the cool ships. You get leftover junk. You can put together.
You know how many ships you're gonna be able to take on this one?
with-
One.
You know what I mean?
The
It's
same
just-
ship.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about it.
This
I'm
game
just
looks like
talking
it
crap.
has some good promise, and hopefully it delivers, because you know it's one of those things that, you know, it's really early. We don't really know. This game could end up in development hell. We don't know. So hopefully it ends up being real good.
Hopefully, yes. All right, Dreadpool. Anything on Exodus? What do you think?
Oh, I like Interstellar. I think when this game comes out, we'll all be about 100 years old by then. So you know, no, I'm kidding.
There you go.
It's interesting. I do like it, and the fact that Matthew McConaughey was all excited about it, not because he's in it, but because he's in it. It's Matthew McConaughey. All right.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. That was Terry's pick out of the Game Awards. Let's check in with the chat and see what they have to say about Exodus or the trailers. Doggy says the Sega trailer was the best. Sir X-Men says he's waiting on the DICE Awards. Happy Cloud Gamer says OD Kojima native cloud gaming technology. Yes, this trailer looks awesome. No, this is cutscene, but the art style is how the game looks. Will be how the game looks, which is cool. Looks a lot like Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm gonna assume that's what MEA stands for.
I assume so.
Let's see. I will check out the new Sean Murray game. Oh, that one looks great too. Yeah. Light No Fire. Yeah, that's what it was called. I love the trailer for Outlast Trials. It looked amazing and scary. The best space video game franchise is still Mass Effect, and Starfield doesn't even come close. You know what, Jingo Kugan? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP, but you're also wrong. So let's see. ADM says into Starfield. I love that one. Let's see. Gogo Pole, great. Starfield is great, but it's not Mass Effect. They're different genres in my opinion. Absolutely, they are. Let's see. I bet you the artist who worked on Mass Effect Andromeda worked on this. It looks similar. I think that's a lot of people are saying it gives it off Mass Effect vibes, and I think it might be from ex-BioWare devs too. Let's see. There's a few stories in Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix that look similar to this trailer. Oh, interesting. Kojima wants to make a space game too after seeing Starfield. I'm glad because there's no space RPGs at all. Oh, whoa.
Wait, wasn't his previous one not?
It's not space now. It's
Come on, that's a space game.
There's no way FedEx is in space.
FedEx Simulator?
That was a space game. You may not travel into outer space, but come on, that definitely had a sci-fi spacey vibe.
It was sci-fi, but it wasn't in space. Starfield ship looked like a bunch of Legos. Oh, the best looking Legos in the world. Jiggles Cooking it looks cool, but he's not interested. And shout out to General Spartan 27. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He liked Exodus, Hellblade, Blade, Sega, and No Rest for the Wicked were my favorites of the awards. Dreadpool, your turn to pick a trailer. If you would like to pick one, which one do you want to look at?
Pony Master 2.
What?
You heard me.
Pony Master 2?
Pony Island 2. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Pony Island 2. That is the trailer of the year. I thought that was a joke, and that is my joke, by the way.
I was going to say, what? Are you serious?
No, there is a
I know there's a Pony Island 2 Panda Circus trailer. I was just wondering if you were serious on your pick.
No, that's a total joke. Especially being on an Xbox podcast. I mean, come on.
What's your trailer?
All right.
Let's get serious, Dreadpool.
I am flipping a coin here. It's either the casting of Frank Stone or the Power Surge Sega reveal trailer.
Flip the coin. Which one is it?
Which one are you going for?
Me, neither one.
Okay, neither one then. Okay, so then we don't have to worry about doubling up. Let's go ahead and do the Sega one. That's a good one.
All right, the Sega. Let me find it here. All right, there's like the thing is a massive list of playlists, and it takes a while to pull up, guys. And of course, gotta wait for the compulsory ad. And here we go. Sega. All right, Dreadful. Why did you like this trailer?
At first, I didn't even realize what was going on because I thought, oh, okay, they're going to be playing some games. I automatically assumed that was an Xbox controller. So I'm like, all right, cool.
I assumed it was an Xbox controller too.
Right? Because, I mean, look at it.
Yes.
It is. But then when stuff started like disappearing, I didn't notice it until I saw the Viking helmets like disappear going, wait a second. Did I just... Are we shifting back to Gauntlet? And then the license plate, because I missed the second one or the one after the helmet. And then I saw the license plate and I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? And then you see Shinobi lighting up. And it was like, what am I watching? Like, are they like rehashing the old games? And then you notice they're not just rehashing the old games, they're redeveloping the old games. Yeah. They are remaking these old games and they look great. I mean, look at this. Compared to what it used to look like, oh my God.
So which one of the 5 are you most excited about? Now, all these are in development. No release dates on any of them. So here's the 5 right there.
There's more, though.
There's more, but those are the 5.
Yeah,
which one are you most excited about?
The initial one
Mhm.
was when I saw it was Golden Axe.
Golden Axe. All right.
That was the initial one, and then when I saw Crazy Taxi, I was like, oh. But I think overall, Golden Axe is the one that's doing it for me.
All right.
Like,
Golden Axe. Terri.
because they changed it up.
Awesome. Yeah, it's what a surprise. And I especially love at the end how they brought back the Sega scream. I don't know if you guys can hear
Yeah.
this. Right? I love that. I love that.
How many takes that poor man has screamed Sega before the guy, right? I lost the voice.
See,
Yes. Absolutely. Terri, did any of these trailers, did anything from Sega here?
No. I mean, I've played some of them, you know, growing up. Like I've outgrown these games. I don't care about them.
Oh,
I've moved on.
you outgrew gaming. What?
I didn't outgrow gaming. I've outgrown the stuff that I liked as a kid. Like I've gone back, you know, like when like what was it? Streets of Rage 4 came out. The thing I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would because I've
Streets of Rage 4
outgrown
is
it.
amazing.
You know, like the new Ninja Turtle game when that came out, I didn't enjoy it as much as, you know, like I've outgrown them. I just don't get into it. I will say though, out of all these games, Jet Set Radio is probably the #1 game that I've heard people for years go on and on about wanting to see come back.
Mhm.
So I think that is a win for those people. Like that's the one that I've always heard people go on about wanting Jet Set Radio to come back. So you're getting it. But all you people out there, I've never played Jet Set Radio. I have no opinion. But for all you people, because I've heard it to death about wanting Jet Set Radio, you're getting it. So now you can shut up about it. All right? You're getting it. And whatever else they got in there. I don't know what else they got in there. Maybe they'll have something that they didn't, you know, tease us with yet that might get my attention because, you know, maybe. But out of these ones, I don't really care.
So
you notice
I lost my marbles as soon as I saw this. I yelled at the top of my lungs, Jet Set Radio, yeah! I'm one of those people, Terri.
Your wife
I was
looked
like,
at
no
you
way.
funny.
They're
Yeah,
making
I've
it.
never played it. I've never played Jet Set Radio, so I have no opinion.
And I saw this guy, I think they call him Mr. X or something like that. The DJ back again. Oh my God, I cannot wait. And then I go, I called it Bare Knuckle. I recognized Shinobi right away as well. I'm like, this looks good. And then I saw Golden Axe. Guys.
Right?
Golden Axe was the go-to beat 'em up in the 8-bit era. And only surpassed by Streets of Rage, by the way. But this 3D adaptation of Golden Axe looks fantastic. I love that they included the mount. You remember this mount, Dread?
Mhm. Yes, I do.
And it looks so awesome. Crazy Taxi, I'm like, oh my God, Crazy Taxi. I have such good memories of it, but I'm like, I don't know if that fast-paced arcade style will cut it these days. So to me, I would say nothing more than Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio, Jet Set Radio Future are cult classics that every gamer should experience. Terri. And yeah. Great pick here, Dreadpool. Great pick.
Thank you. But did you notice here at the beginning, he even put his hand in front of her face, trying to block her? I mean, that's a classic, what we used to do to each other as siblings and as friends, elbows, and anything, you know, I mean, it wasn't considered cheating back then, but anything you can get the upper hand, you know, and that was the fun part about it. That was the trash talk.
Stand in front of the TV so they can't see.
Unplug the controller.
Stuff
Give
like
them the
that. I
broken
mean,
controller.
That was fun.
but that was like the trash talking we used to do to each other. Nowadays, that kind of trash talk is exceeded beyond just the camaraderie that you have. And we got to remember, we got to go back to that kind of trash talking. We got to go back to that kind of having fun.
harmless fun versus everything being taken
Just
so
like getting
seriously and like it's overly adult now. Overly adult.
Yeah, and it's just like getting accused of running somebody off the track when they ran into a rock on their own. You never hear the end of these things. These are great
never in my
stories.
life have I purposely ran into a rock on my own.
What?
The joke that keeps on giving. Here
Yes.
we go. Let's check in with the chat because I know they have a lot to say about this Sega stuff because our audience is older. So Jago Coogan says the Sega trailer was the best by far. So X-Men says Sega. And let's see. Here we go. Jago Coogan says all the Sega games shown look fire, and I'm going to play/purchase every one of them. Doggy Dog concurs. Me too, Jago. Me too. Happy Cloud Gaming Go. Questions is now, will Sega make their own subscription service in the next years? Maybe, or they might partner with somebody. I think they might go the partner route.
They could go the EA way.
Yeah,
Wink, wink.
with somebody.
Game Pass.
Good question. Yeah, Sega is awesome, even with their PC games too. So yeah, let's see. I've been waiting years for Sega to remake some of their old games. This was Sega fans and dream announcement. I like the 2 Point games. I love those games. Yeah, 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point University, amazing and amazing. Shinobi was hot. Crazy how good these games look. Yeah. Dreamcast always had a great color. Yes. This announcement got me just as excited as Killer Instinct remake announcement back in 2013. Oh, that it started like Kill Ultra Combo. I remember that one. Yeah. Let's see. Do you guys like Lego Fortnite? Not me, Dread. I don't.
I don't know.
Fortnite's not my thing. Sorry.
Don't say nothing, but my daughter downloaded it so she can play it.
You're gonna play with
we'll
her.
find out in a little bit.
Yeah. I did play some of the games over at a friend's. Did not own them myself. Oh man, here's an opportunity, my guy. I think it's going to be a Saga service offered to play these games. Maybe. Jacob Novik says hi. What's going on, Jacob Novik? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And sorry about the lighting, guys. The sun is shining right through my window. Give me a second to turn it off. Dreadpool, entertain the crowd for a minute while I close this window for a few seconds.
Yeah, no problem. I'm kidding, guys. So again, with the Sega stuff, for those that have not played, this is going to be, I'm predicting this is going to be like a nice epic first step into these classic games. And those that have already played these before, it's going to be a nice remembrance of going back to how great they were. And again,
do not mess this up, Sega.
Some of these are going to be a different spin on the old classics, and some of them, like Shinobi, look like it's going to be the same style, but obviously updated. So I think just like Crazy Taxi, they need to fix the mechanics that they had, because that was part of the thing, is you could never play long enough to play. And they had different variations that allowed you to play, but those gameplays were very short sessions. Even playing at the higher difficulties, your timer, you never had enough time. So I hope they fix certain things like that, those little nuances that made sense for an arcade, but not for a home console / where we're at in today's market. You want longer playing sessions, you want storylines, you want a lot more of that. When you're popping in quarters, Crazy Taxi made sense.
Yep.
Golden Axe made sense too, because you're still popping quarters to get across and learn all that.
Hopefully they can transition from that arcade to I guess now the longer game.
Yeah, like
the
a
story game.
Today's traditional
Yeah.
gameplay, not gameplay, storyline, all that, all the mechanics of cameras. I know we talked about the quality of life when it came to gaming compared to that era. Remember, a lot of that stuff was done on either a D-pad or a single joystick.
Yeah.
Now we have dual joysticks. Now we have better controls. They didn't incorporate a lot of that stuff to the newer consoles when they pushed them up. They just kept it the same. So you can only do certain things. So hopefully the quality of life on all of these, not just visuals, not just the gameplay, not just the story, everything gets upgraded. And we're already seeing that some of these look phenomenal. Streets of Rage looked good.
Absolutely.
Real good.
All right. So my trailer, we're just going to move this show along so we can get out. My trailer is going to be Hellblade. First off, the first thing I love is right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Engage footage capture on an Xbox Series X. Exactly what I wanted. Right? Series X. I know what it would look like. And it looks amazing. And it looks so much better than any of the other trailers that are just like a single scene. You know, this one actually finally showed a lot of vistas, a lot of the environments. It showed the combat finally, which a lot of people have been asking for. You know, and the fact that it looks this good. Ninja Theory's on another level. I mean, I don't know how they're making this happen, but I'm glad they're making it happen. Right. And the song that played to this, by the way, the first off, the performance before, great. And then the fact that they played it again to play this even better. So I love that they gave them the time to the spotlight, and then they gave Hellblade the spotlight. But yeah, Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, continuing what is fantastic. I mean, look at this combat. I mean, it looks amazing all the way through and through. The lighting effects, the fact that there's fire breathers now. And here she slices someone and then hits him with a axe from the other hand. That is cool. If the combat is like that, like it shows here, I'm gonna be. I already know I'm gonna love this game. This has been a very highly anticipated game of mine since it was announced back in 2019. I've been waiting patiently 4 years. It has a 2024 release date window. Hopefully, no delays. And man, it looks good. And I cannot wait to put my headphones on, turn the volume up to 11, and get this game going. I cannot wait. So this trailer for me was the trailer of the show.
You know what really would have been impressive
What?
with this game? If they showed what it looked like on an Xbox Series S. And to look this, you know what I mean? To be able to say, and this is on an S. Now imagine X and PC qualities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It even did a spot that, you know, showed you this is how good it looks like on an S. That, to me, that would be kind of cool. You know, because now you see how less quality you have on a console like that, which wouldn't be that less, but you could see how much improvement and work that they can do on the potato that everybody's saying it's holding everything back, right? Think about that.
Tell you what, the S is the little machine that can. It's certainly not as powerful as the X, and yeah, there is some problems you got to learn with it. But you know what? That's Microsoft's issue to educate developers with. And, you know, that's ultimately up to Microsoft how they want their games to look from third parties. But yeah, the S, this is first party. And I've always said Xbox first party games have to look and play best. If you don't do it, third parties aren't going to do it for you. So I'm glad that finally, we're starting to get something that just looks like it can't be done on the competitor's platform.
And that part of that is because you have to design with these features in mind.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they did here. This is how you show the third parties how to do it. You know, and that, you know, that's why I bring up the S, because it was the potato. It's holding everything back. If this looks this good on an X, I wonder what it looks like on an S.
It's going to look good too.
If you could, well, exactly. And that would, to me, that would be more of a selling point to say, look how good this looks on an S. Also,
I think
you know what I mean?
they did the right thing by showing this off on the X, because the casuals are the S and they're not watching this. This is for the hardcore high spenders like me and you and Terry, who all have either gaming rigs or the X. And man, it looks fantastic. You know, those mesh shaders are just working overtime.
But I can't imagine how much of a quality loss we would lose. I think it would be very on part of this. So that's why I'm including the S. I want to see both, not as a comparison, but just let me know when I'm seeing an S part of it, and then when I'm back to the X, just so we know. Oh, this looks still...
Digital Foundry will let you know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will. 3 blades of grass.
Let me zoom in this scene. So I already know it. You know, like I'm gonna take this scene here, right?
But you know,
that
Twitter
they just showed. Hold on. Let me take this scene, zoom all the way on this little bird right here, and take a look at it.
Well, you know,
let me zoom into this, whatever the hell this is, and tell you how bad it looks.
Well, you know what Twitter would do, right? Twitter will go there, lower it to 144p, and then zoom in. There you go. And then zoom in and say, look how crappy this
is
looks.
The S right here. No, actually, ironically, for the stream, because I only stream at 720, this is at 720, and it looks fantastic. If I threw this bad boy all the way up to 4K, I mean, my computer would just...
Well, we're not.
It would look amazing, but for the stream to keep it going, I just do it at 720 because that's what I stream at.
And it looks good at 720.
It looks great.
Think about it.
It looks fantastic. Terri, Hellblade 2, Senua Saga.
No. Okay. I will say it does look beautiful and whatnot, but I did not like the first one at all. I hated the combat. I thought it was too I can't think of the word, but like predictable. That's the word. The combat was too predictable. I knew where they were going to swing before they were going to do it, and then if you died and you went back in, the enemies did the exact same pattern again. So I was like, ugh. I didn't like it. The puzzles. I mean, I like puzzles, but the puzzles weren't that engaging. Like they bored me on this one particularly, and the slow walking, not for me. She's even look at that. She's even running in slow motion. Come on. Like it's too slow. Like a game like this should be faster for me. You know, like I've played a lot of like walking sims, and it makes sense for those to be slow. This game makes no sense to be slow. It's just slow to be slow. I don't like it.
Hey, when you're on the Baywatch Beach, you're supposed to run slow.
I'm just saying, I don't like it.
Good. You gotta slow it down, Terri.
But it is stunning. Like this is definitely the quality that we want to see for games going forward. This is what we want, but it's just not a game for me. I hated the first one, and I have zero interest in the second one. I don't need slow running and predictable combat. I don't need to listen to a bunch of voices in my head arguing with one another. I'm good.
Stabbing me right now. All right. All right, guys. And that is the Game Awards in a nutshell. There was a lot more of the Game Awards, but we have already gone way over. We've been at this for some time. Let's check it with the chat here so we can go on and get out of here. Let's see. Sexman says, I want the next Tomb Raider to look like that. Hey, man, sell it to Amazon. Graphic God says, I love the first game. I did too, Graphic God. I did too. Google Pulse says, it's going to sound good too. Absolutely. If this thing doesn't win Best Audio Design, you are wrong. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't like the first Hellblade because of the stupid puzzle, so I wasn't interested in Hellblade 2. But not going to lie, this trailer got me interested in playing it. Yeah, I think this game's going to knock it out of the park. Imagine how good. Shout out to Jacob Novik. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, imagine how good Hellblade 2 will look then. And let's see. And Happy Cloud Gamer says, oh, dang, I forgot about Hellblade. I'm going to play it. It's a no-brainer. Let's see. Yeah, we're in the 4-hour mark there, Doggy. Exactly. Let's see. And yeah, and Jacob Novik, we covered that topic earlier. Feel free to watch the replay. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
It's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah. Let's see. Terri, but we had a poll on the Game Awards. What did the chat think?
How would you rate the Game Awards? 75% said it was a B. 12% both said it was A or C. No one said it was a D. So everybody, for the most part, enjoyed it.
Yeah, for me, this was the most enjoyable Game Awards outside of the Xbox Series S one, as far as an Xbox fan is concerned. When the Series S, the Xbox Series X announcement Game Awards, I think it was the 2019 one. So for me, this Game Awards is the best one since, and actually, in my opinion, was better. I feel like Xbox really knocked it out of the park on the ads this year.
So I have a question because prior to the Game Awards, Xbox Game Pass said there was a big announcement. What was the announcement?
Blade.
I think
But
Blade
it was supposed to be a Game Pass announcement.
No clue. No clue. We'll have to investigate further.
Because I could see Blade being the big Xbox announcement, but it was Game Pass that said that you got to see something.
Oh, maybe that was Blade. Maybe that was the innuendo. Oh, Game Pass.
Maybe first on Game Pass. There you go. Blade first on Game Pass.
I mean, I did hear the same thing going on in the community before they even posted anything, and everybody was even thanking each other for not spoiling it to each other. And I think it was basically Blade.
Was it Blade? Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I haven't seen anything for Game Pass. I don't know what the big announcement was.
Because I even asked, I said, did I miss it? Because I didn't see it, and everybody told me Blade, and I'm like, okay. I didn't see it like groundbreaking or internet breaking. So what was it that was supposed to be? But this basically Blade is what it is.
I think it was Hellblade because they posted a lot of Hellblade on December 7th.
But I don't see Hellblade. It's not an announcement though. We already knew about that game coming.
Yeah, Blade was the.
I think the release date is the big announcement, and to me that is big. If you've been waiting for Hellblade, that is big. Yeah, or maybe
they said there was a big announcement, and no one can really define what it was.
That's exactly. That's why, again, I had to ask myself, and that. But that was the thing that I got was the insider secret was Blade.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
It would make sense if it was.
All right, guys. But that is going to do it for our show today, guys. It was a long show. Shout out to Dreadpool for joining us. Thank you so much for coming in, Dread. We appreciate you. You are the real MVP, except when you run me into rocks. And but we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. But before we go, we want to say thank you to each and every one of you for joining us live. And even if you were in the background lurking, or if you're watching this on the replay, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat. And that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. And with that being said, we'll catch you guys next week. I'm Axel1324.
I'm coolcatterri.
And I'm the guy that drives right on the line where everybody else runs into the rocks. Dreadpool, the one and only.
We'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.